Summer on the beat, oh get up and shake your cheeks.
Hello and welcome to The Middle is Open. Abel Carrillo here, along with Peter Carrillo.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Escalene.
What's up, guys?
And today, guys, we're going to be talking about roller derby. What is roller derby? I don't know what it is. Peter, are you excited for this show?
I am, man. I remember when I was younger, it used to come out on TV. We used to watch it.
Yeah.
All the time.
It was like on Spike TV or one of those channels.
No, I think it was like on the
CW.
like the cable.
The
I don't
WB.
know, man. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
I barely remember what happened last week.
Anyways, we have a full studio, guys. This studio is packed. And here's the thing. We got some girls in the studio. So for the longest time, we didn't have like a lot of girls in this studio.
It was a sausage party.
Yeah, it was a sausage party. It was just like, and then finally we got Marlene to talk about like the journalism side and everything like that. But now, guys, we got we have 4 girls in studio. Women. What do you guys like to be called? Women, girls, enforcers, what?
Women, superheroes. I don't know.
Superhero. Oh, okay. All right.
They all got their individual origin stories. We were talking about origin stories.
So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to introduce them. We're going to go down the line, and then I guess we'll finish up with the males that are in studio. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Zombie Bait.
Zombie bait.
Hello, I'm Pepper Spray Your Face.
Hi, I'm Chinga Querito.
And I'm Pinche Colera.
Nice. Look at that.
I know. Before we got on air, they were telling us like when they go to the store and they run into each other and they call each other by their names and people are just like, hey, pinche colera.
Do you guys get like people looking at you like very odd, like what's going on over there? Like who are these people with these odd names?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. A lot at work.
A lot at work?
We actually work in the same place, and we would see each other in the hallway and be like, hey, Chingarp! And then people would be like, what? Did you just call me?
Yeah. It's like,
That's her name. And like, no,
Ma'am, do we need to talk to HR?
Rules against that.
they're like, we're school teachers. we're in early childhood and everything. And it's like one of like the first graders is like, hey, pinche pendeja.
It's not pendejo.
Oh, well, I don't know.
He's making up names now. He's adding names to you.
So what is the weirdest name that you guys have come across?
Go ahead, Pepper. One of my favorites, she used to skate with us. She was Moose Knuckle.
Whoa.
Moose Knuckle.
Moose Knuckle.
So I've skated against this player, and I think they were out of Texas. And I don't know if you all remember playing West Texas at any point back in the day. Yeah. I believe she was a veteran, and her number was 1776 because you have 4 numbers on your jersey. So obviously patriotic. And her name was Revolutionary Whore.
Did she have the stars and stripes?
No, but she actually took her battle boots. I don't know what they call them. I don't know which branch she was with, but I know she took her battle boots and actually anchored her plates for the skates to the boots, and she skated with the boots.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
How do you guys come up with your names? Are you baptized with it? Like does your coach or teammates, they come around and they're like, hey, you're Pepper Spray, or like you're Pepper Spray? Like, I'm curious about that name. Like you guys went out to eat at Chico's and then you got in a fight and the cops came and pepper sprayed you. And there's Pepper Spray.
It's honestly, it depends. Some people are christened with it and some people think of it on their own. I thought of my own name. Me and my sister, she plays too. She actually plays in Oklahoma. We were kind of just spitballing names. I had tried thinking of a Pippi Longstocking type of name, and then it kind of just rolled into something, and then it went to Pepper, and we're like, Pepper Spray your face, and then that's how it. Yeah.
But is there like origins to it? Like I talk about origin stories.
Peter loves origin stories.
Like, are you? Was there a story back then when you got pepper sprayed?
No, not at
reason?
all. It just went well.
You did the pepper spray.
I know, right? And my number is 245, which is police code for assault with a deadly weapon. So I did think of that.
Are you a cop?
You have to tell tell me if you are. No, I just thought it was fitting. You know, pepper spraying your face hurts, so I figured, yeah, why not? Yeah, it's an assault. Yeah.
That is,
She's been there forever, so.
Yes.
yeah. I like it. I was always I always believed that somebody had to bring your name. You can't just come up with your own name. But
Yeah.
During fresh meat,
Yeah.
they usually name you.
what's
you
fresh
get-
meat?
Yeah, what was that? Say that again. During
Fresh
what?
meat.
Fresh meat? Is-
When new skaters come and they want to join the league, they have to go through a whole process of learning
You
how
jump
to
'em in?
skate, how to fall, how to hit. And I don't know if it's always been a thing, but when I started 2016-ish, they would name those players depending. If you're someone that falls a lot, you'll be roadkill.
Oh.
You know?
So how'd you get your name? I'm just
Well, she's had several different.
I've only had
names.
3, maybe. My
You've evolved into
my
a better
next-
player.
She's a Pokemon.
my first name used to be cold-blooded because my last name is Cole. So I wanted to
okay.
incorporate Cole. So I used to be cold-blooded. And then I went through some shit. I don't know if I could say that, but I went through some stuff. And
Say
then,
it. Say it.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I got an opportunity to change my name, and I was like, what do people always like call me? Like Culera, because of my last name. Jennifer Mo, because of my Mo. What? And then I just came up with Pinchi Culera, incorporating my last name. And then 78 for obviously my birthday, my daughter's birthday.
Nice.
Nothing exciting, but that's mine.
So, like, during this fresh meat time period, is there any hazing that goes on, like sorority girls?
No.
No?
No.
Why is that? You
Because we're adults.
Excuse me.
Just because a lot of the girls who join, a lot of them don't even have any kind of like background in skating. So like just that alone takes guts, and we just want to encourage them to feel like they're in a safe community. And I mean, we're really like a sisterhood, and we don't want to discourage them from leaving, because I know it's hard to learn. I mean, you really will fall so many times on your ass, like you're gonna build like almost like a callus on your butt. Like that's how much you fall.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who try it at first, they see how hard it is, and they're like, this is not
They
for
give
me.
up.
And we
Right.
don't want to make it harder for them by like hazing them and making
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And I don't know about your all's experiences, y'all's.
Y'all.
Y'all.
Y'all's. And about your guys' experience, but in my experience, I started derby years ago, and I've only played a couple seasons. So I think a lot of people that decide to do, like, hey, you know what? Let's finally decide to do derby. Like, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I think a lot of people that do decide to do derby at that moment are actually going through something in their life. It's some sort of weird turning point in their life, whether it's negative or positive. So because of that, they're like, you know what? You know, I'm hitting my 50th birthday. I said I'd do this, and I'd never done it before. And if
Yeah.
I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Or you get people going through these awful divorces, or you get these people that, you know, are getting kicked out of their house for, you know, any of their standpoints or their orientation, their sexual orientation or anything. I've met a lot of people in that situation where they're like, I have nowhere else to go, and I need to meet people because otherwise I don't know who to reach out to. So because of that, I think roller derby has been a really large safe space for a lot of people. Even though we are hitting each other, we are pushing each other to our limits, we're also there like, hey, we're not going to go so overboard that we're going to haze people.
It almost sounds like therapy,
Yes.
right?
But
So-
way cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Way cheaper, yeah.
Yeah. No.
You don't get to hit your therapist, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and see, like, I asked, like, how does one get involved with roller derby? And it kind of sounds like you just answered that question. It sounds like very therapeutic. I know, like, us, like Peter and I, we like to play softball on the weekends. And during this whole pandemic time, we were unable to, like, have that outlet, you know? You girls participating in roller derby during this time, this 1 year period, what did you girls do during that time?
Gained weight.
First and foremost,
Thought
yeah.
of new drinking
Literally
games.
heavy. Yeah.
How early can
We
we
used
start?
to-
Just kidding.
We used to have
Netflix.
meetings, when it started, and we had Zoom meetings that turned into alcohol.
Drinking meetings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how it started.
Just leave it like that.
Yeah.
And then
You
there's
need
been
like-
a
We'll leave
few
it at
people
that.
that there's a
We
few
don't wanna
people
get
that will
into
do
detail.
like trail skating, so they'll just do like endurance skates. They go out like there's
Yeah.
a trail on the west side. It's just like a big road that we would just go and take. It's about 10 miles, so everybody would just do that. There's some people that took up part skating, so like the aggressive type skating, so try to do tricks and flips and all that sort of stuff. So there was different people depending on what you were willing and wanting to do to get that outlet out. But obviously we all still wanted to hit each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all like text each other
Yeah.
like, I need someone to hit me.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
what am I saying?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And I asked this because during this time, there's been a lot of struggles with people and their, their mental state. Like I feel that everyone has come across like with demons that they didn't know existed during this 1 year period. We've been at home. A lot of us lost our jobs or whatever it may be, right? And there was no outlet for us. Like a lot of us choose to participate in sports. You girls choose to do roller derby. And how I came across you all was Alex would always post these videos of him going on these long rides on roller skates. And I was like, man, that's really cool. But he was doing it earlier on when people were still like bunkered down, like people were still in their houses. And that's how I was like, man, we need to get Alex on the show because I like this. I don't know. It feels like a sisterhood. It feels like a team. It feels like a family that you guys
It's
have
that
here.
camaraderie you guys have.
It sure is.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
But no, I mean, I just I'm curious about the whole year that was not a year. Basically, everybody was.
Yeah, we're not counting this year.
Yeah, it was in pause.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I know you guys were saying some of you guys are veterans. I guess how many years do you have in, or you could go down the line.
Mine's a trick question. I started in 2013. I had some health issues that happened, and I moved a lot. So I think I only have about 3 seasons under my belt,
3
even though I
seasons.
started in 2013.
I've been skating since about 2008. I was actually one of the few people that helped start both leagues that we have here in El Paso. So but yeah, I've been skating for about since 2008. So yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and I've been skating about the same, maybe a couple months or
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
like less than
2009.
yeah,
Yeah.
2009 with her. We've been together for like ever. Oh, she's also my derby
That's
wife.
my derby wife.
Oh
yeah.
wow. What is
Maybe.
that? What is that?
like a work wife.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
a work
husband,
wife, except you know,
derby related.
yeah,
I-
derby
The person
related.
that you connected with like the most, the person that you can always count on, the one that
Yeah.
on and off the track, no matter what, like that's the person that's like
Nice.
my right hand man. So yeah.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Done the-
It's been about 5 years that I've been skating.
All right.
Well,
Nice.
4, I guess, if you don't count this last one.
What about you, Alex? Like, how'd you get involved with everything, the roller derby? Because I met you maybe, what is it, like 3 years now? I met you about 3 years
Probably
ago
about-
when we started working with the high school football and things like that. And then, of course, like on Facebook, I would see like your posts all the time of this roller derby, and I was like, you're a ref. Like, how did you get involved with this?
Yeah.
Like, I know girls do roller derby and stuff, but how does Alex do this?
Well, believe it or not, there's a men's league also. So. But anyway, I have a skateboarding background. So when the girls were starting the league here in, was it 08?
Yeah.
One of the girls, Tony, she was a member. She asked me to come and, hey, we need refs. Are you interested? I was like, no. What is that? I was like,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, you're crazy. But, I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll see how it is. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
What they pay you
I
at
actually
first?
stopped skateboarding and did more roller skating.
Yeah.
Weird. But, yeah, it's been about 13 years for me also. Last year doesn't count.
No.
And I've ref for 4 different leagues now.
Wow.
Nice.
It's a derby hole.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me, man. Yeah, so it's been a fun ride. It's an incredible journey. You meet a lot of great people,
Yeah.
and it really is a brotherhood / sisterhood. Because there is a few other male refs
Yeah.
You said that there's 2 leagues, right?
in El Paso.
Okay, how many teams are in each league, or how does the leagues work? Is it like AFL,
It just really
NFL,
depends on the league.
or
Yeah.
AFL?
Well, let's start off with your league. I mean, obviously that's the more important league, right?
That's the league we're right.
Yeah. We could care less about the other one.
I was like, well, our league is El Paso Roller Derby. Ours is internationally ranked. Like, is this whole international system of rankings, points. It's called Women's Flat Track Derby Association, and it's literally, throughout the world. So we have 2 traveling teams, A team, B team, and then we have 4 home teams. So that's our league. That's what we consist of. Our home team, or our A traveling team, is called the Tex Pistols. Our B traveling team is the Pistol Whippers. And then our 4 home teams, we have Beast Mode, Hooligans, Derby Bliss Brigade, and Crash Test Dollies.
Wow. And okay, so
say that again. Really fast.
The traveling teams, they're like a select team, I'm assuming. They're like the all-star. They're the all-star team.
Yeah, you need to pass a certain amount of skills.
How rigorous is that assessment? Yeah.
It's pretty rigorous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Could
mean,
could
if you're a
Alex
seasoned
pass it?
vet, then they're gonna be like, no, it's not that bad. But like for us normal folk, you should come out and try just a couple of the assessments. Yeah, it's tough.
we were talking about just strapping on some skates. Cause
Hey, you guys are more than welcome.
See, what I wanted to
we'll see if we
do.
can get you on board and just come out for a bit.
Oh, dude, what I wanted to do, because we were big on rollerblades back in the day. Peter and I were like, you ever see that movie Airborne?
Yes.
Yeah, we were in the movie.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. They all laugh. They all laugh like, what the? Like, yeah.
Why are you guys over there and not on this side?
No, but that was like a huge influence in our rollerblading career. Like when we were kids, we always wanted to be like the guys, like going through neighborhoods.
Right.
Like we would even get like
Under semis.
yeah, we'll go low to the ground and everything. Yeah, that was our start in rollerblades. So
we do that now, so it's we never outgrew it.
well,
I know.
okay.
Well, when I would see the videos of you guys skating, like down the
We would
trails,
find
I was always
anywhere
like,
and
man,
everywhere
I
to
just kind of
skate.
want to go join them. And then I saw you guys did like 80 miles, and I was like, shit, that's a lot.
Yeah.
50.
I'm gonna miss my Netflix show.
Yeah, it was hard, but we did it to challenge ourselves,
Yeah.
kind of to,
But you don't notice
Make
it,
it-
right? Like if you guys are having fun, because I'd see the videos, you guys are all like laughing.
Oh, that's just the first 5-10 miles. After the 20,
Afterwards,
30
what are you
mark-
doing? Dragging
After the
each
20
other?
and 30 mark, you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's, a whole
tasking.
new set of muscles you didn't even know you have. Like we could all
Absolutely.
work out, do cardio, circuit training, whatever, but you put your skates on and try and do that. It's
Absolutely.
like I don't know why that hurts, but
So where does it hurt? Is it like your calves, your shins,
Core,
your core?
Yeah.
Lower back.
Your back.
deep into
Your lower
your
back.
thighs,
Yeah.
your back, yeah.
Yeah, your lower back's really huge component in
I need
being
this
stable.
area right here.
Yeah, Peter's got those
And then
love
your,
handles.
yeah,
Yeah,
your
the love
obliques,
handles,
your
yeah.
abs.
Zombie and I were talking about just the other day. We skated all these trails all pandemic long, and okay, we're in shape, we're good. And we started our technical drills the other day.
Yeah.
Really?
It has nothing to do with endurance.
What is
It's the short
all right.
burst, right?
It's the technicality of it, the jumping around, the quick stops, the starts and the stops, and the using your inner thigh muscles and your outer thigh muscles.
Okay,
Whoa.
but okay, how did Alex get like involved with the crew? Because you're all women here, you're all cool and everything, and then Alex just like, where did he come
He's hinting
from?
that you're not cool.
No. I'm not saying that.
Excuse me, sir.
No, I'm like, how did you get involved with that? Like, and how did you get invited?
As far as the trail skating,
Yeah, just like.
oh no, I actually started doing it.
Oh.
Yeah,
And then people join.
and then
So
yeah,
you're
we
the
started,
you're the godfather. In other
I
words.
wouldn't go that far. but
You're like Gordon Bombay. You didn't want to do
Oh.
it at first, and then
Yeah,
you came
true.
in,
There you
and then
go.
you were like, "Hey,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
like 12 years ago. But now we all pushed for it. And
He
we're
was
like,
just in his backyard, just like skating by himself, like Gordon
I
Bombay
wish.
on the pond and everything. He's just like,
No, ironically, so when the pandemic started, we would skate and hike these city trails, like the Rio Grande Trail or whatnot. And a sheriff deputy came and told us, hey, you know what? They closed off all these trails. I'm sorry, you guys can't skate here. You guys are going to have to find somewhere else to skate. We're like, what? So my girlfriend and I were like, okay, well, let's go explore, see what we could find. And sure enough, we found a 10-mile trail, and the rest is history. We started a group. Hey, guys, look, we found this place. Come on over.
Dude,
That is like Gordon Bombay.
And it turned into
Like,
from
dude,
5
I'm
miles
serious.
to 10 to 50, and then
Dude.
50 eventually.
That's like Gordon Bombay, like in the movie D2, best movie ever.
Yeah.
He goes, and he does like the little duck call, and he's like, "Come on, let's go!" And then they're like all
There you
skating
go.
through the mall and everything. That's how you did it, right?
And they kind of it grew, and all these Facebook groups kind of just merged, and hey, we're gonna skate this time on this day. Sure, let's go. And then, of course, we would socially distance and we would mask up.
Yeah.
But it got bigger and bigger, and we ended up finding like 3 or 4 other trails, and yeah.
So
pretty
anyone could participate, or is it just like
yeah, no,
El
we had
Paso
it
roller
open to
derby?
everybody that was willing. But
Like if we show up with rollerblades,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not gonna like.
no, we had
like-
skateboarders, we had cyclists, we had
Oh.
people on Heelys. We had everybody. And we'll go downtown also and do a little tour.
Are those
and
still a thing, Heelys?
I don't know.
They are,
Are they
and they're
really?
really high tech now.
It's like you're like, are those still a thing? And then Alex like popped he popped his back in. He was like,
Damn,
fuck.
hoverboard pops out.
they got him in chanclas now.
Like I said, you guys are more than welcome. There's some
Yeah.
downtown trails that we do, and they're fun, and we go into a bar and have a drink and
Yeah.
relax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll meet you at the bar.
he's like, what time are you guys gonna be at the bar? Because you're doing 20 miles before
20
you
miles,
hit the bar.
I'll be there.
No,
The last
downtown
2.
is fun. It's like
20
miles,
beers.
if at all.
20 minutes. Nah, yeah, because I always like when I would see your videos, your Facebook lives and everything, I was like, dude, that looks like a lot of fun. Again, at the beginning, like there were times where you're like, I just want to get out. I just want to like do something. And then when I would see your videos, I was like, man, I kind of want to like shoot him a message, be like, hey, bro, I don't have rollerblades, but can I just like run along you guys?
You know what? Ironically, we had a runner do it with us once, and he lasted about 5 miles, and
then he
it's easier
died.
on skates. Yeah,
You guys left me.
I mean, we can't stop. No, but honestly, that's how it started. We were pent up in a small room and just kind of like, okay, well, outside it's not that dangerous
Yeah.
in our minds, and
Yeah.
Even
it
with
really wasn't.
the skate parks too.
The
Like
skate
those
parks.
were closed down. Like we had to.
Yeah.
I'm 30. I'm gonna be 31. Like I was jumping the gates at Carolina Skate Park.
Hell yeah.
Like along with these like 12-year-olds, like probably shorter than them, but it was hard to.
They're like, stranger danger.
Were they yelling at you, pinche pendeja?
Damn.
That's just wrong.
Write it down. Write it down.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, how'd you
My
get
mom
your
always talks
nickname?
about that.
It's like, how'd you get your nickname? Well, I used to break in a skate
No.
skate parks
How'd
with
you
little
get your-
kids.
How'd you get your nickname? I was jumping the fence when the gate was open.
But it was difficult to find like an outlet for. It's been a year, over a year. Nuts.
Wow.
Okay, so what was it like? I mean, we could talk about this fucking pandemic all day and stuff, but what was it like before? And how did you guys stay so strong, like, that got us through it? But, like, how was the league before it? How competitive was it?
I mean, we tried to be as competitive as possible. We would practice 3-4 times. I don't even remember how many.
3 times?
Three
It was about
times
3
a
times a
week.
week.
3 times a week. Yeah, and then our Saturdays as well. Yeah, and then we would travel. We had a game scheduled throughout. We'd try to find teams pretty much anywhere we could that was wanting to, play us. So we've gone as far as what was it, Missouri? Went to Missouri to to a tournament in Missouri. That was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
we played like 3 or 4 games in that weekend. That was a lot of fun. I think we ended up being 3rd in that tournament, so that was fun. I know we were the underdogs by far. Nobody thought much.
Were they
of
all
us.
big, like country fed?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
There
know.
were some big girls. Yeah,
Fucking
and they
Peter
always look at us
labeling them
like,
over there.
No, I'm
we're-
just curious.
Yeah, no,
'cause-
we were definitely the tiny little
Right under.
Mexicans that like, skeet on by like under them because we're
Under the
a lot of us-
semis
yeah.
and everything.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah, we're definitely underdogs, but yeah, we definitely try to be competitive. We had a game at least once a month And then traveling, we would do like 3 or 4 games throughout the year outside of El Paso. So, and it would just depend on who we were playing. Sometimes we played in California. There was in San Diego, Colorado.
Oh, see, those
Those
were the fun
Yeah.
ones.
Yes,
What is the
Vegas,
what is the travel like? Just getting not the actual like tournament itself or the event, but the traveling. How does it work out? Because I'm assuming you guys don't fly. You guys probably like carpool. You guys do like.
Only the fancy hosts fly.
Alex drives. I'll meet you guys there.
I've driven all the time.
I think the last one was San Diego. Was like, it was an 11-hour trip, but the people I was with, it was 16 hours.
Oh wow! Did you take the paisanos? She took the paisanos and everything. She's like, when do we get there, puss? We gotta go to
We got
Kansas
stuff in
first.
Colorado, Kansas.
Which way is the wind blowing? That way.
So it just depends. Our travel does not get funded. We have to pay
Yeah.
for our travel. So it just depends on who, sometimes our work doesn't let us, be gone for 3 or 4 days. So we're like, I have to fly because I have to literally fly in that day and fly out, fly back home because I have to go to work. So, so depends.
I asked that question because we play softball and we always look forward to the tournaments. Like if we go to Silver City or even Las Cruces, like Rio Doso,
The whole enchilada.
The whole enchilada, like every year in October, the first week of October, that's the tournament we look forward to. Like, because you get to camp out, you get to like pitch your tents and everything.
3 days,
all night long.
3 days, I'm gone.
And then you're just getting trashed because you're drinking alcohol and everything.
What time's our game? 2 in the morning.
They really can't. They
We
save
don't
that for
drink
after.
before games.
Oh.
We do after parties.
Before, yeah.
What is that? 24 hours before?
Yeah. Just because what they put their bodies through,
Yeah.
they're not gonna
Dehydrate.
sustain
Dehydrate,
that
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's not only just like, oh, well, I'm going to be dehydrated, I'm going to be tired. No, you're running the risk of actually hurting other people by being dehydrated and not
Absolutely.
being well fed and not being well hydrated or anything like that. Like,
How so?
This is a type of sport where, like, if you even just like kind of turn wrong and somebody hits you at that same time, you're gonna break your ankle.
Yeah.
So we've got to minimize that risk not only for ourselves, but I would feel like shit if I was feeling like crap. I fell down because my muscles are like tired and I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And then I trip somebody else because of it. Somebody lands on her and she breaks her arm and it ends her career.
Yeah.
Like, I would feel like shit. So like, it's more of like a community standard. Like, okay, we don't drink beforehand, but we're gonna go eat and we're gonna go drink right after.
That's another story.
How do you?
Well, to give you guys an example, it's kind of like you all are familiar with football, obviously.
Yeah.
So if one of your offensive linemen is not 100% and your running back's going to run through that gap,
Yeah.
right. So you're putting other people at risk because he's not 100%. Same concept. Here they have blockers that protect their jammer or help their jammer.
That was going to be my
Same
question. Is
concept.
how does it? What are the positions and how does it work? What are the rules?
Well, Miss Pepper
For a layman person here.
Yeah, Pepper.
or zombie.
I'm gonna give it to Pepper because she's a little bit more like.
Well, what are your
spoken- more-
positions?
more
Yeah. Okay.
And
Let's
what
go
are
through
their
that.
what are their jobs? What is each position's job?
So there's 3 positions because it's the pivot, there's the blocker, there's 4 blockers, and then there's the jammer. So each team is going to have 5 on the track at a given time. So the pivot is technically, I always like to call her like the head rower, like the one that's calling the shots. It's usually what they like to do. Obviously they can still go in line with the other blockers, but for the most part, the pivot is the one that will turn around and be like, go this way, go
The
that
QB.
way.
The
Yeah,
shots.
Is
yeah.
it the QB?
The
Field
quarterback.
general.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the point guard.
And then the jammer is the one that has the star on their helmet. They're the ones that are scoring points. The points are scored once their hips pass the opposing team's hips. After the initial time,
They gotta do
There's
one
an
track.
pass.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. So they have to get through the pack the first time, and then that next one is when they actually start to get scoring
Can the
points.
2 jammers just go at it? Like
Yeah,
they go around and
but
they're like.
honestly, you realize doing that you're wasting so much energy
Yeah.
because you still have
So you
to
just
fight.
wanna be-
Yeah, you just want to get through
Yeah.
because you're fighting. Because essentially, sometimes you end up having to push your own people out of the way because you're like, get out of my way, you know. So you're just trying to get through, and you're trying to conserve that energy because you have to skate that entire track too. And if they're going fast, that means that jammer has to go twice as fast, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just about conserving energy. So it's offense and defense at the exact same time because you're trying to get your jammer through, but you're also trying to block their jammer from getting through.
And that's what's unique about the sport is that you're still.
You're on offense and defense at the same time, and it's physical from the first whistle to the, final whistle. So and they only get, in some leagues it's 2 minutes, in their league it's 1 minute in between.
Oh wow!
Or 30 seconds in between the next.
It's a faster
quick
pace and everything. Yeah.
Very quick pace.
How do you guys police the sport? Because you were talking about like the safety of, you all try to be respectful, right? You guys are out there to have fun, but there's always going to be boneheads, moose knuckles, like you said. But there's always going to be dumb people out there that are like, their intentions are not in the right place. How do you police the sport?
Well, if it's your own team, there's actually a coaching staff. There's a board of directors. I'm not sure about this league because I just joined this league, but there's usually like a grievance committee. So like if people feel like, hey, like this person is just like not being safe out there and I don't feel comfortable doing drills, like you could actually go to all those people and say, hey, I'm not going to do those drills. Like you guys need to address this. And they'll figure out amongst all those people, they'll figure out a way to address it. Now, if it's another team, like let's say we're playing, I don't know, we're just going to say San Diego because that's where I'm from. Let's say we're playing San Diego and some person is just like throwing elbows at people's helmets and the refs aren't catching it. You can actually call like an official timeout. The coach will, and they can actually address it to the head ref. So they could actually go straight to the head ref and say, "Hey, this is what we're seeing. I don't know if your other referees are seeing, but please keep an eye out for it." So that the refs, you take that off of the coach's responsibility and off of your player's responsibility. You actually give that to the ref as a responsibility. Yeah. And then if the ref sees it, they could. Usually the head ref will give like one warning, but if it's really like horrible, they're just gonna say, that's an egregious. You're ejected. Get your skates off. Leave the arena. Yeah. So when that does happen, the head ref will actually wait until that player has their skates off, and they can't stay and watch the rest of the game. They actually have to leave the area.
Go to a locker room.
If they're like in San Diego where they play outside, they're gonna have to go and sit in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
if they're here, they're gonna have to sit like outside, in the front or in the locker room or something like that.
Yeah,
like we said, it's a physical sport, and there's a lot of technical rules that change constantly. But like, there's absolutely no room for any malicious acts like that.
Oh, that's good.
And people think that they ask you, "Oh, you're in roller derby, so you punch each other."
Yeah, they think it's like gladiator.
Like
it's a controlled chaos,
Yeah. It's an actual sport. You have to be athletic and learn all those goddamn rules.
Because,
oh my God,
like it,
so much.
Oh,
yes,
I can't say that.
I'm just agreeing with you because they change so much, especially this rule set that we're in now. They change like every 6 months.
Yeah. At one point, I think it was 2015, it changed at least.
You want to move that mic over?
Sorry. At one point, I think it was 2015 or 2016, the rules were actually changing every 3 weeks.
There you go.
So it was like, oh, dang.
So
this
it's
rule
tough
set
on
came
everybody,
out. This
especially the
rule set
refs.
Abel was about to give you a red card for not using the mic.
Right.
Oh, dude.
Sorry.
Can you please put the mic?
Yeah, it's tough.
What is that signal you just did? Is that the penalty box?
If you give a penalty, the ref's going to give the signal for the specific penalty, just like in football. Mm-hmm. But if the ref gives a penalty and then touches their wrist guard and then points two, so they have two fingers up like a peace sign, that means it's 2 penalties. So let's say I elbowed Pepper in the face. I can't do that. That's illegal. I can't hit to the face. So Alex calls, hey, that's a high block or forearms, whatever he decides to call it. Now, if I say, F you, ref, you don't know what you're doing, he could actually give me a penalty just for cussing him out. So he's like, oh.
So what happens in a penalty? Do you
man.
Go to a penalty box and you're short a person?
Yeah.
It's like hockey?
Exactly.
Just like
it's like hockey and football combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
And soccer.
How biased is Alex when he's out there?
Honestly, I
mean, because he's
I
here
get a lot
with
of slack.
He's here with you all, but how is he with the other
I get slack
teams?
because I let him play in a different rule set that I ref, which is not in El Paso. It's more of a let's let him play kind of.
Yeah.
Don't call unless it's really something that's going to change the outcome.
No
of the game.
ticky-tack fouls.
Right.
Or whatever.
And I'm used to that.
Well, each ref has their own personality to the game.
Exactly.
This is a real strict ref. This is one that let you play.
I like to let them play. So if it's anything that's super serious, then yeah. But most of the time, I give them, let's continue the gameplay because the crowd loves it. We don't want to kind of stall that
then it depends on the skill level of the actual teams playing also. So that gets taken into account when we're refing because I started off as a ref. And there's some teams where they're A-level teams. Yeah, we're going to let them be a little bit more handsy, but if they're like teams that are just starting and it's
Yeah,
like their first
to be
season,
in the
You want to
scene.
get them
you want to
to
call
the
them on
rules. Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
so
Right,
that
so they
they're
get
used
familiar,
To,
right.
yeah.
They learn it.
So
But
they're
these
used
girls
to
are pretty.
making
They're
themselves safe.
pretty well seasoned. So
They patrol.
How
themselves.
come you never how come you never became a coach? I mean, it seems like you have that bond with a lot of your skaters, or you're just involved.
yeah, I mean, I've always loved sports naturally growing up, and I've
Yeah.
always wanted to, but
The time.
it was not the time. I just wanted to do other things, and I wanted to enjoy watching my kid as opposed to missing a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough that my work allowed me to stay and not travel. Well, I mean, I did travel, but watch him play. So I was like, no, if I'm gonna coach, I'm never gonna see him.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna. And I'd rather watch than coach him.
What are your guys' positions?
Well, I had a baby before. Well, I was pregnant before COVID, and then COVID happened, so I've been off for 2 seasons. So I'm probably just only a blocker. But before that, I was a PB&J. So that means pivot, jammer, blocker. So I could play all three.
I thought it was peanut butter jelly. I was like, oh, shit.
You'll find
I over
What
here.
are
I
you
started
telling me,
licking my lip. Like,
right.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
enrolled
you
your
like
travel.
Peter? Do you like Peter Pan or Skippy?
Right.
Can I have my folded?
So I could do
Jiffy.
Corners.
Jiffy. Jiffle.
Jiffy's got to. Oh, it is Jiff.
Yeah.
God.
I like goober. I don't know about
The
you all, but
sensitive
I'm a
subject.
goober guy.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Dude, I take
That's
my
like the Mexican grandma one. Like,
yeah.
Let
You
me
go to,
Mexican
yeah, you
gra-
go to like
Yeah.
your grandma's, and then she always had the
The half
one that
peanut
had
butter, half jelly.
it was layered. It's like, God, you get lazy when you're older. You just gotta skip.
Yeah, so
Sorry, I was
before all
thinking
that happened, and I took a break. I was a PB&J, so I did pivot, blocker, and jammer as needed.
Same as her. I play all positions, pivot, blocker, jammer. So I think it's a toss-up. My favorite being blocker or jammer. I guess it just depends on the team and the game that we're having. So yeah.
For me, the same. I play all positions. For traveling teams, I prefer to block, and for home teams, I like to jam.
Yeah, the home teams, I think everyone kind of just like, who's less tired, go in
Yeah.
there. For these last few seasons, I've been mostly a jammer, but same, PB and J. I know that was a thing, but yes.
I'm gonna go to
I
your.
just played blocker.
Yeah.
So you
No
said
jammer.
that right now that people aren't allowed to go see you guys play, right? Because of COVID restrictions still.
Right.
But first game that people are allowed, I'm gonna be there with PB&J.
Yeah.
Don't know why I have this, but I'm gonna do it.
They know.
Sandwich.
Yeah, we just started practicing again since we're now in
3 weeks ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
3 weeks
this
ago.
is
Yeah.
the beginning of the third week.
How much does it take away without fans? I guess.
For me, honestly, it doesn't. I just enjoy the game. Obviously, it can add that element of people cheering for you, yelling, doing all that stuff. It can just add an extra element. But for me, myself personally, I enjoy the game so much. It doesn't matter to me. Obviously, I will love when people can join us again and can watch the game in person. It'll be great. But I just can't wait till we can just hit each other again. Right now we're like we have to follow certain tiers in order to
touching.
Yeah, no touching. Well, we just started
We
like
just started second
one
tier.
partner drills
Oh,
kind
okay.
of thing, and then I think next week is when we'll start with like 3 partners or like a little more hitting kind of thing.
So they're
And-
phasing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So these are tiers because of the restrictions.
Our
and-
governing body and the CDC.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how has the game changed with all these restrictions? Is it not as fun, or is
It's
it
just
just
modified for now. It hasn't changed until it's
Yeah.
unrestricted,
practice
and then it goes
scene,
back to
so-
normal.
now? Are you
Practice, yeah.
are you girls wearing like masks while you're playing and stuff? And how much does that suck? Like because you girls can't breathe.
You're gasping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so gassed last night.
Yeah. So
I
at
was
practice, they
gagging
actually
myself.
have
Making
like
Papa
designated
Cola.
areas so we could take our mask off to breathe, because it
And
it does get
sanitize
hard, and
Yeah.
then we sanitize right after, and then we follow all the CDC guidelines. But I had an N95 that was extra
Oh
from
my
work the other day, and I forgot my regular
Yeah.
athletic mask, I should say, because it's a little bit more stretchy. So I was like, oh god. So yesterday I'm in my
Oh,
N95.
you were
I was in my N95, and you can see the sides of it going like an accordion. And I was like, okay. After a drill, I had to go lay down and take the mask off. I was like, I can't even breathe. So it definitely has been a little bit more of a challenge, on top of, you know, a lot of us not having access to a gym or having access to working out during this whole break.
Yeah.
So a lot of us don't have our cardio up to par on top of having to use a mask. So it's kind of like using like those trainers masks and going for a hike, and you've never gone for a hike before, and you decide to just go balls out and go and use a trainer mask, and like you don't know what you're really looking at.
This pandemic was a game changer.
Yeah.
It was.
A lot of us had over almost 1,000 miles of skating during the pandemic. And then with the masks on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah.
because you
had
can't breathe.
You had 0 miles.
It had
with the mask
0
on.
miles, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you guys, probably the best thing you girls can wear are like the gaiters, because those are like, they're nothing. It's like a t-shirt, less than a t-shirt. Because when I was running, I'm trying to be respectful to the people that I'm running around, like at the parks or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, if I get the virus, like, I felt like I was gonna be all right, you know. But then again, there's like that old man that's like walking, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck that guy over, you know. So I was like, I would wear mask, and at first I was wearing not the N95s, but I was like wearing like the thicker ones, and I was like, dude, you can't run in these. And then I started buying like the gaiters, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a little bit better. So that's my advice to y'all.
I just stopped running.
There you go. Don't move.
Take it for what it is.
Okay, so what is the equipment that you all use? Because I know you all wear helmets, some elbow pads, knee pads. What else? What is the game changer for you?
Can you go
all?
out there with like shoulder
Yeah.
pads like the
Yeah,
like the
ooh.
Legion of Doom?
Ooh, there you go, with spikes on your shoulder.
Spikes and just go
Sorry,
out there?
technically, yeah. So this is one of those technically moments
Really?
that we're talking about.
When I played, I
yes.
did wear
The spikes?
no, not spikes, but
Animal.
like a chest guard almost.
Yeah,
the
your face
shoulder
painted.
pads.
And your
Warrior.
absolutely.
Well, I remember when I
under
came.
my football pads, you know those pads
Yeah.
that go under with your rib cage protect. I have that's exactly what I wore when I played. It's,
Really?
everything's you can wear just about anything you want.
Damn.
As long as you're not gonna hurt anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't look like it's gonna fall off and be unsafe at any point.
Right.
Were people ever like, este mamon, like wearing all this?
Absolutely. But you know what? I'm still doing it, and I'm
Yeah,
only
yeah.
44. You know, so
No. It's because like I remember seeing
longevity.
like I would see like those people like with all this kind of like in football. Remember when the visors first came out, and then like you're
I
like
feel attacked,
this
bro.
guy, bro. Like
Everybody
come
had
down.
visors and gloves.
Gloves.
And
Yeah.
then the knee braid. They look
I'm
like
gonna see myself.
they look like RoboCop going out there.
Yeah.
You're like,
Because like we talked to Coach Grijalva last week about like how he got his start in football, and he coached at Lincoln Middle School, and we were talking about like the mosquitoes and the stickers and everything. And I remember like our football coaches would tell us like, you can't wear gloves. That's for you know,
Right.
sissies. Yeah, sissies.
For dandelions.
So like I was always hesitant to wear like gloves. Like when I moved up in middle school and everything, like my buddies would wear like visors and gloves, and I was like, yeah, I don't want my coach to be up in the stands and looking at me like, this guy, you sold out.
Okay, I grew up in the lower valley, so we didn't have grass. So we had to protect our hands and arms. And then we played against the south side schools. They won't want to gouge your eyes out. So yeah, I had a visor. You know, I would protect myself just so I could have a little longevity.
Yeah, we're
That's
actually
all.
allowed visors in our league
Yeah.
too. The only thing though, technically, the only thing with the visors though, it can't look like it's gonna be falling off. Some of the helmets do have it built in so that they could click visors on and you could replace them. The only thing is though, you can't have like sunglasses on, and you can't have visors that are tinted, so they have to be clear visors.
Why is that?
It's a safety issue, I think.
It's the same thing as
because-
concussion protocol.
Yeah,
just for-
concussion protocols, because like if somebody
Oh.
gets hit and you
Yeah,
can't
that
really
makes
tell if their
sense.
bell got ring, you can't really tell like if you need to pull them off or not. And a ref could pull off a player out of the game at any given point. So like if somebody gets hit, like their head kind of rocked and they look like they maybe got their bell rung, the ref needs to know that, hey, they don't look quite right. Well, you
Right.
need to pull
Yeah,
them
yeah.
off.
We have to inspect their helmets,
they
make
might
sure
not.
they're.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they get hit in the head, they might not have the actual like cognitive ability to actually say, hey, you know what, I think I'm hurt, let me pull myself off.
Right.
They're just like, oh no, I'm gonna play it out, you gotta finish this jam. And you know, sometimes the ref's
Yeah.
like, no, you need
They're
to get
like
off.
skating the wrong way and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know
it
what?
happens. So the ref
It's
needs to be
happened to
able
where
to
they're
do
kind
that.
of your bells kind
Yeah.
of rung and
Yeah.
a little disoriented.
What is the scariest injury that you guys have been a part of?
oh man.
Oh, look at
So-
that.
no, everybody got
Zombie.
Like,
quiet.
yeah, everyone got quiet, and then there's one girl like Pepper's over there like, ah.
Next question, please.
She's like, I got her good.
The last time when I was playing with San Diego before I transferred to El Paso, I did come here to El Paso for a game. And now that we're talking about like that weird equipment stuff, I actually had to wear like, it's kind of like like a sleeve where you have like your shoulders in kind of, and it wraps around your chest. And I actually had to have one that also had to wrap around the neck because I got my bell rung pretty bad a few games before that. And I was still kind of trying to recover, and I've had neck surgery before, so it was taking me longer. So I was going forward, and one of the blockers hit my jammer out of bounds on the inside lane. She turned around to run back because the jammer has to come in behind the person that knocks him out. So she's like, oh, well, let me turn back and go, run her all the way back. Well, I'm standing right there, and she didn't realize I was there. She's a whole hell of a lot taller than me. She was maybe about 6'4". Oh, wow. This girl was huge. So she just did not see me. And so I tried to brace for it.
Was she human?
She was somehow.
6'4".
So I tried to brace for it at, 5'4". She's this big old girl. Like, you could tell she lifts at the gym. And she just, like, rocked my shit. Her shoulder went into my head, and it twisted my neck to the left. And I actually, like, I couldn't stand up anymore. So I actually, like, fell to the ground without catching myself. And I just felt like, you know how you get stingers? Yeah, like,
you can't move.
Yeah.
You're like paralyzed.
My legs felt like they had stingers. I'm like, something is not right. And I was like, so I just, like, kind of flopped to the ground. I was like, oh my God, something is wrong. I broke my neck. It was
the nerves, huh? You pinched nerves.
Yeah, but I've had surgery on my neck beforehand. So it didn't, I was already thinking, damn, I shouldn't have gone back to roller derby. This is my fault. I'm thinking, like, yeah, so that was probably the worst I've been involved in. Luckily, nothing was wrong. I went and saw my specialist and made sure nothing was wrong, and we did MRIs just in case, and then they cleared me to play with El Paso, so that's when I got back to El Paso. But then that's where that weird equipment comes in. We're like, hey, you got to wear this neck brace. Like a cowboy collar, except it's like soft, so that nobody else, because if I were to wear a cowboy collar, the ref can say, hey, you know what, that might be a danger because it's hard. It's hard plastic, so it's up to the other coach and it's up to their girls. If they approve of it, then yes, you can wear it. But if they don't approve it, you got to take it off. So I just went ahead and just asked for the soft collar just to be safe.
Dang, do you girls have a players union or shit? Like
they should.
She's like, I had surgery and this and this and that, and like, I'm like, damn, like what the hell? Like,
find that
who are your representatives?
We underplay how injured we are because we want to play.
Yeah.
We're like, no, it's fine. I've seen girls that have, or players that have dislocated elbows, shoulders, and they're like, just pop it back in, and they just they'll put tape on it, and they're like, I'm good to go. Let's go. Yeah.
And then you're like, what? One of our skaters is also a medic, and she's the one that, she's like, okay. So they'll listen to him right away.
Yeah.
Mason.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Whatever you want.
You're
Go
good.
back. Not a good idea.
All right. Oh, any more horror stories?
No, luckily I haven't had anything.
I've seen a lot of broken ankles.
Broken ankles?
That's like the main injury.
Ankles or knees.
Oh, tailbone. I bet that one's like.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. It sucks to sit down for anything. Like for I know you're all yeah, and then to stand back up, you're like, no.
What about you, Alex? Any horror stories for like a ref? Has like a player ever come up to you and like?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
You're all pepper.
I know. No. I was maybe about 2 years ago. Yeah, 19. I was refereeing the national championship for the other leagues, and these skaters are fast. And let me tell you, you got to do some serious cardio just to keep up with them jammers, And I'm watching my jammer because my position at the time was just to watch the jammer, the scoring, the points. So there's a big battle going on behind me, and you're not paying attention to the people behind you because the girls are skating, they're doing their thing, and I'm counting passes. So some girl gets knocked out and undercuts me, and just like it's you lose everything. You're like, you don't know where you're at. I hit my head, and you try to play it out, but you're really like you get dinged. And you're like, after that, you're just careful because
Alex is over there. I need mouth to mouth. I need mouth to mouth. Who wants to? Like,
no, and the medics were like out there, and I was like, no, I'm fine, but I really wasn't.
It's like this big
my
old
knees still bother me from that.
Big old fat dude comes. He's like, no, not you. I want Wendy Peppercorn.
You get disoriented. Yeah.
Wendy Peppercorn.
Right. Yeah. So you do get hit. You get tripped a lot. You get thrown fingers at.
Okay, so
That's
what's
never been the
what's
case.
what's the scariest moment that you've been a part of being a ref? Because
Oof.
in other sports, like if it's boxing, if it's baseball, football, refs get like they're the scapegoat. They're the ones that get all this shit from the players, the coaches,
Right. It's
administration.
either a great called game or a horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes
Oh, it's
either way.
always going to be a horrible.
Right.
It's always going to be horrible because the opposite.
As far as injuries, you mean that I've seen?
no, just players coming at you or
Oh
coaches.
yeah, I've had.
Oh, Lord.
I had a girl come at me and kind of put me in an arm lock and just.
Oh,
There's video of it.
did you tap?
Was it the girl that hit her?
I couldn't even breathe.
6'4",
She was
gave
about
you a noogie.
5'11", 6 feet, and yeah, I'll show you all the videos.
Where are all these
Don't air it,
girl-
okay? That's all I'm asking.
Where are these girls from? Like
Nah,
he
I-
says 6'4", 5'11", 5'10", and then I look over here and I'm like, maybe
Well, for my-
5'5" is like the
That's
tallest
right.
I see right here.
For my injury, she was from San Francisco, so she played with SAC.
Yeah,
roller
some of the
derby.
other teams that I've refed, the Houston squad, for example, they have like 4 girls over 6'4" or 6'3", and they're just their blockers.
Wow.
They're all from Estonia and shit.
Right.
Huge, and they're athletic, super nimble on their feet. So yeah.
They like-
But I've been attacked, and I've been had stuff thrown at me, bottles.
I was about to say I've seen people throw beer,
Mm-hmm.
not the beer bottles themselves.
Beer itself.
Not no, either the beer or
I'll take a beer,
or
beer
the-
man.
the-
All right.
The beer caps, because what happens is if you don't catch a beer cap, like you don't gather all of them, you're gonna trip up a skater one.
Oh.
So I've seen people actually throw beer
It's
caps
like-
onto the track.
It's like the Mario
That's
Kart,
messed
like
up.
throwing a fucking
There you
banana
go.
peel and shit.
Banana.
Fucking some red and green shells. Let's go. Dang.
A
There's been fights.
Budweiser
All right,
line.
wait. Speaking
There's
speaking
been
of
fights
beer,
with refs, other refs that I've had to like kind of get in and kind of pull people away from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
crowd, and you know.
Wow.
speaking of beer,
And
who needs a
players.
refill? Who needs another one? I mean, you look here. Here's the thing. This is the cool thing about our studio. I mean, we're very unconventional. Like we just kind of
You don't say.
we just kind of wing it. So like, if
There's no
you-
rules.
at any time, if you want to get up
Yeah,
and grab a beer, go ahead and do so. Like, we can edit this. Well, actually, we won't, but we could. We could, but we don't. But I know you just hear the eyes like
And
going
that
in
beer
the,
break was brought to you by.
Yeah. Nah, but
Yeah.
Sun Brewing.
Brewing.
Yeah, thanks a
Shout
lot
out to Sun Brewing.
Yeah, shout out to Dave and Sun Brewing. You guys are gonna want to catch the Pacific Street Boys beer coming
Yeah.
to a
Store
store
near
near
you.
you. Yeah. Where are all you girls from? I mean, you don't gotta give me your street address and shit, but like, what parts of town are you girls like representing and stuff?
I'm actually from Las Cruces.
Whoa.
But then I moved to San
Far
Diego,
west.
then I moved back. So
Nice.
I'd much prefer to play with El Paso because of the community that they've built and the culture that they've built along with this roller derby league.
Yeah.
So this was like #1 choice. As soon as I knew I was moving back, I was like, oh, I gotta send them a message. Let's go.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
start with El Paso roller
So
derby.
that's why you went to New Mexico State.
Yes.
Nice. I like that. I like that.
Next subject, please.
Why? What? Oh, hold on. Why is Alex so sour about NMSU?
Because I was raised to hate them. I love the people of Las Cruces because I have a lot of great friends out there.
Yeah.
But go Miners.
All right.
I live in the Northeast, and I really enjoy it. I like the Northeast. When
Yeah.
I grew up, it was always told, that's the ghetto place. But
That's where Peter lives.
I know, right? But now that I live there, I'm like, there's some sketchy parts, yeah, but I don't go to those sketchy parts, but
Yeah.
I enjoy my side of town. So yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Northeast, but I live on the East Side now. But yeah, I like the Northeast. It's cool.
I'm currently in the east side. I've been maybe from like 9 to 17 in the Lower Valley,
Yeah.
and then northeast, and now I'm fancying in the east side. But I'm originally from Coos Bay, Oregon, so I grew up
Coos
over
Bay.
there.
Well, where's that, Anthony? Anthony's our
I've never been
Oregon
there.
correspondent over here.
I've never been there. I lived in Oregon, Portland, Oregon, for about 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was off to the Bay. Little
Yeah, Coos Bay's a little.
crackhead city.
Crackheads. Oh God.
I'm so sorry. I don't know if I can say that.
No. You
Shout
can.
out to your hometown.
Oh no. We're not big in Oos Bay or whatever that is.
Coos Bay. She
or
could.
Kuzbe?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't
Well-
have any fans there.
Okay, good.
Not yet, but you might have a little bit of emails coming.
3 years later, they're like, hey, by
Yeah.
the way,
Wait a minute.
you gotta cancel them
Right.
because
Do you guys have like a game day ritual, like before, like?
Good question, Anthony.
Carbs.
Carbs?
Like,
Like-
pasta days.
Like, is there a
spaghetti?
music-
Like French fries or mashed potatoes or what's going on
Spaghetti.
there? Spaghetti?
spaghetti, definitely pasta
That's
parties.
yeah.
Ooh, pasta
I
parties.
I have to eat a Snickers right before the game.
Dude,
Or else you start acting like Danny DeVito or something.
The
She's all
DUI
grumpy
comes
and
out.
all.
I know. I don't. I definitely just try to get my eyeliner on point. If it's on point, I'm like, is it a good game?
I've noticed that.
Good
Okay,
game.
so I kind of want
Okay.
to touch on that because
yeah.
I do see that you guys are like well done. You
Yeah.
know, you guys get the makeup going and
Yeah.
And
Here,
it's just
well,
like-
like I remember, I don't know if I could say this, but Alex, when I told him like I would like to have you all on the show, he's like, "Do you want them dolled up?" And I was like, "What the hell does that mean?" Like,
That's what I said.
and I was like,
because originally I thought it was gonna be audio, and then he's like, no, but you're gonna be on YouTube eventually. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, you don't want
Yeah.
them to look like they just woke up.
"Oh,
Tiradas. Like we just came out of
it was
Oh.
noon on a Saturday.
I know."
Hey, I'm just saying,
Like,
we're
we weren't
representing
having a
our
morning
media.
show.
What time do you girls wake up? Shit.
No, they just stayed up.
I know.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
the key.
I know, right?
No, but I do put makeup on for a game. I mean, I try to find. So it's definitely
Your
like
outfit has to be on point,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
it's
try
part
to
of the
find-
theatrics too, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The war paint.
definitely, you have to, obviously, I don't know, for me, like, sorry, babe, but my ass is always hanging out. Like, I'm like, what are the shortest shorts I can find without offending people?
rule against that.
No.
My makeup, you have to go to the restroom, like, right before.
Oh yeah, that's a must.
Like, even if you, like, no, I'm fine, you have to go. Because once you,
Yeah,
like,
once you
you're, like,
start-
starting up and, like, they're about to blow the whistle, you're like, oh, suddenly I have to take a shit.
Dude,
You get the
Yeah.
jitters, right? You get the
Bubble
butterflies
guts.
going.
The bubble gut.
It wasn't the. It's
Roller
not
derby
the
girls
beer.
took a
It's not
shit.
the beer shit
this is okay.
from the night
Women
before.
don't
It's like the.
This is perfect. This is perfect because
I thought I was the
Hey,
only
no,
one that
no,
got.
we
those.
all get
No, no,
jitters.
no.
I get jitters
no,
too,
no,
man.
this is, dude.
For
This
real.
is perfect because like we've all been in competitive sports, and there's times when. Like if it was baseball, if it was even golf.
Well, they
like
say boxing.
Yeah,
Remember
boxing,
the MMA
like,
fighters we've had? They
like,
said that they get wrapped up. They get their
need to
gloves
take a-
on, and then they're like.
I need to take a dump.
And so
you
they're
know?
literally there's a guy that goes with them to help them.
Yeah,
and
well,
helps them.
no. I think it was James or Johnny.
Day or something.
So
Yeah,
okay,
they said
either
that.
The wiper.
James or Johnny Guillen, they told us that because you get your hands wrapped and there's like a commission
And you
that
can't
has
cut
to-
'em anymore.
So you
Right.
can't.
Right.
If you do it, like if you leave without supervision,
Right.
They
It's
have
a
to
sanction thing.
They have to cut it and they got to
Redo
rewrap
it.
and shit.
Yeah.
So someone has to like go with you to take a shit. So you're just like that, and it's like, yo, bro, like.
Take notes for
wipe?
the next board
Wipe
meeting.
left.
We need to jot this down.
No, but you know what? I like that she was like, I need to take a shit or whatever, because a lot of the times, no, because a lot of the times, like, girls are like they're like, I don't do that or whatever. And guys,
That's the
I
beautiful
just,
thing.
I just snap my fingers. It goes away.
Well,
That's
I
the
think as
greatest thing
women,
about
go
these
ahead.
ladies is that
They're
they can
real.
do both.
They're
You
real.
know, they're
Yeah.
real. They're
Yeah.
gonna look amazing and they're gonna be natural, and that's
Yeah.
that's okay.
Everybody
I think
poops.
as
Yeah.
females
Good.
in general,
And they're
we're
not
held
afraid
to,
of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's been times where I've been playing and then like I obviously didn't go to the restroom before, and like someone hit me and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta fart. Like, I'm sorry.
She was like,
You're right behind her.
And then she gets her turbo. Move.
Hello, consider that my
Alex will eject you for that. Get out.
Alex is
Get out of here.
Alex is like, I usually let them play, but when they fart, goddamn,
Safety.
I am
That's
throwing
another
her
story,
out.
yeah.
I am throwing her out.
Yeah, and I think as women in general, we're already held to a high standard, and then as female athletes, we're held to even a higher standard because everyone thinks like, let's say cheerleading. I'm not throwing cheerleading under the bus. I'm just saying, a lot of their points come from, okay, do all their bows match? Does their stage makeup on point? Are they smiling? And so many of even in like gymnastics, is their bra strap showing? You know, they get points taken off for their bra strap
Really?
showing. Yeah, they do. They really do. So a lot of them don't wear it, and because we're held to that standard as female athletes. So I think probably the best part of joining roller derby, I've done like 4 or 5 other sports before this, but the best part of roller derby and the reason why it's probably my favorite sport all around is because we're not holding each other to that standard. We're being totally like natural. We're being totally like, hey, you know what, we could get a little bit down and dirty a little bit. We could talk about these natural things. And like, yeah, I've had teammates where they're like, hey, sorry, do you have Imodium? Because I got the pregame poops. I'm like, yep, I've got it, girl. Like,
yeah, you're just
yeah, so I think it's like normalizing being a human and then normalizing being a female being an athlete.
Yeah.
Everybody
It's
poops.
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've all
coaches,
played
there's been
sports, and like that's why Abel said we've all had those pregame like, oh man.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because when you're playing sports, this is the beauty of sports. Like when you're playing it, your teammates tend to know you better than your own siblings or your own family.
Absolutely.
You know,
Except in
because
your
you guys,
case.
because you
Sister
guys,
skates.
what's that?
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Oh no, because you guys are
You see each other
You're-
vulnerable.
yeah,
basically.
exactly, and it's kind of like what you mentioned earlier. Like a lot of you are coming from whatever situation you may have had or in the past, and you girls are coming together, and you guys are building something. You know, some kind of bond, and I don't know. I love sports. Like I've always been told by other people, like, what's so important about sports? Like,
It's
how
a
is
game.
it?
It's a
It's
game.
a game. How is it going to change your life? And it's like, dude, you wouldn't be asking those questions if you participated in sports.
Absolutely.
It is
Sports-
like so.
It's the camaraderie. What I remember from all the sports I've played throughout my life, it was just the people that were involved with it too.
Yes.
So I'm sure it's the same with you guys.
It's so much more important. A few years ago, when I was in school, I was doing my associates. I legit, I chose my game than going to my graduation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, bye.
And
I gotta
some
go
people
do
and
that.
some people
You're
would
already done.
some
Yeah.
people would question you for that, right?
Yeah.
They'd be
Yeah,
like, why? And
why
then
would
that's
you do
like,
that?
Well, it's
but they
'cause,
don't
like,
understand.
My mom
Like,
was
yeah.
so disappointed. I'm like, you don't
because like
understand.
usually education is it's self-driven, you know. It's you're by yourself, like it's something for you. Nobody else is helping you, you know. Whereas in sports, you're building it, like you're working for the ultimate goal together.
Yes.
You know.
Right.
And
Can't let them down.
Yeah, from my experiences, sounds cliche, but you know, it's their life lessons and there's experiences that you kind of put into your everyday life.
I think the best saying I've ever heard, it was from another player. She plays for San Diego, Bonnie Destroyer. She said it. She says, you break your body to heal your soul. And it just, that is like the best way. Like everybody finds it at a different time, and that's exactly what happens. You break and bruise your body just to heal your soul.
that should be the quote of the for you guys, like
Yeah.
for roller.
Cheers
derby.
to that. Shit.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I actually like that
Yeah.
quote.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
cool.
one of our shirts that she's wearing
Oh.
here. It
Oh,
says
okay.
the
show it off
sweat-
to the camera. We can't see it.
There.
There's the camera.
That's up. I was like, stand up, maybe? I don't know.
We don't know how to read, so if you want
Hey,
to.
you gotta read it.
I can't stand up.
It says, sweat dries, blood clots, bones heal. El Paso Roller Derby.
Nice. Well, I'm excited. Like, really, I am excited to like go out there. But I kind of want to do a trial run. Like, we have the GoPros going, Abel.
Yeah.
I really think.
Are
we
you
should go out there.
volunteering me to like?
Well, I'm volunteering us. Like,
Oh, okay.
I pride
Ooh,
myself in being
Here we
like.
go.
I like to think I'm the athlete that could participate in any sport and just compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you,
Yeah.
I won't be the best, but I'll compete.
I won't get last.
Yeah, basically.
Being first.
Even if I have to cheat.
You can hold your own at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to like.
Hey, like
Let
they
me get
say,
my
if
crew.
you're-
Let me get my.
I-
Let me
if
get
you're
my
an athlete,
6'5",
you're an athlete, you know.
6'5".
I think what Peter's saying is like he wants to challenge you all, like us
Oh,
three
shit.
versus you four.
Okay, so I used to be.
You don't know what you're doing.
I
guys.
used to be.
We all have our skates with us.
Well, I used to be in advertising and marketing, and I had this idea while you guys were all talking, and I was like, man, what if we got players from the Rhinos to put on skates and play against you guys?
That would be tough. I'm not gonna lie, because they have they have
some-
skills because they know how to hit too. So
Well,
I mean,
yeah, that's
there's
why-
there's a lot of times.
And I don't think you guys would shy away from it.
No, not at all. God no, no, not at all.
But I
it
think
would
it'd be
fun.
like an El Paso thing, you know?
Yeah. It would be fun because it'd be, for one, I think it would take them off the ice. I mean, because I don't know what
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like not
Into
on the
our
ice.
domain.
But they have to wear
exactly.
skates. They can't wear they can't wear blades or
Rollerblades,
anything
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
But I mean, they would know how to do the moves. They, you know what I mean? They have the
Lots
the
of
Do you guys
technicality.
know how to ice skate? Because then I think there'd be
Yeah.
like a rebuttal. Like you guys got to
I
ice
can
skate and
but
play.
I can stay up.
I can, yeah,
not
go
skate.
forward.
He's like, I could stay up, and then there's like a clip of him holding onto the board. his knees are just like going back and forth, like.
He gives you
Again,
no
Abel?
credit. He gives
I
you
know.
no-
Zero. I'm a little athletic, okay?
It's very hard on the ankles.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the way those skates
Blades
are,
on
right?
Hockey, like,
Yeah,
there's
they're
Tobin that
too
we have,
narrow.
Hockey players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
inline.
don't know.
But what if so if you bring them into your domain, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting. Going back to that, when I started roller derby men's league,
Yeah.
we played against Austin, that was comprised of all hockey players.
Really?
Yeah, and they can.
So,
hit.
so do the men
They
wear
can
the
hit.
roller skates as well?
Yes,
like
it's the
the
same
four?
thing. It's
It's
just
basically the same
it's
rules
just
set.
not as sexy and as attractive.
Do you
Nobody
wear
wants to
your
see-
short shorts and everything? too?
Absolutely.
Some men do.
No.
Do
it's
you
brutal.
wear?
It is brutal.
Do you wear?
With
Do you
the
wear a cup?
Borat?
Do you wear a cup?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've had skates to the groin region.
yeah.
Right?
Oh.
You all-
Yeah.
We
Hey,
call
we
for the
know
girls.
that.
We call it a shiner in the vagina, and it's painful, man.
Yes.
Shiner.
Yeah.
Like right on your.
I like how it rides. though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the
it's bad.
terminology that
I'm
they
loving it.
have.
No,
They are the
It
most
sounds funny, but it's
creative
horrible.
girls in the world.
I know. I am like, I'm writing these down. Oh, you're a shiner to the vagina. I'm gonna go home
I
and
had
be
a
like,
team-
do you want a shiner to the vagina?
I had a teammate
It's not
once
pretty.
that it happened to her twice in a row. 2 jams in a row. And she
Why?
was just
In the
like,
same game?
and so like after the game, she's like, Zombie, I need you to go to the restroom with me. He's like, okay. So I'm thinking like, whatever. She's just scared to go to the restroom by herself because it's kind of a distance. So I'm thinking, okay, like women always go with each other. No big deal. She goes, okay, I know you're a nurse, so can you really look this? Because like I think something's actually really wrong. So she just like
my
goes and like flashes me. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well,
Looks like you got the case of the
you
shiner in
need
the
eye-
vagina.
I was like, you can't do anything about it. You can
Sir,
ice
that's
it.
my catchphrase. Wait.
It's like
So,
trademarks.
Ouch! Like, I mean, oh, I felt for her so bad.
Bruises are like such a great thing. Like I have a collection. Like someone's like all marked up, like a big old bruise. I'm like, let me take a snapshot. Of
Yeah.
it.
We call them
Yeah.
derby badges or derby
kisses.
kisses.
Derby kisses, yeah.
Like it's like
There-
an honor to have like, oh shit, that's
There
bad.
was an artist, I don't know from where, they did
I
a
saw
whole
that.
gallery of
yeah.
pictures of
Really?
like the bruises on the.
bruises.
You know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
They beat me to it.
Yeah.
That's like a.
And
I
they
was
look-
really gonna.
honestly, but they
the shiner
look
to the
beautiful, like because they're on
No, no,
different
no.
stages, so they're yellow and purple, and I mean they're just like they're
Yeah,
gorgeous,
yeah.
right? But it's amazing, like
Yeah.
it was a gallery of
Dude.
of the fishnets. Oh yeah,
That even have like the stages, like this is when it first happened. This is
Yeah.
when it, you know.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That kind of reminds me of that one photographer from the UFC. Like after every fight, he would take like a mugshot, like a headshot of the fighters. Because everyone, like when you're watching the fights, you're like, I could do that. Oh, that guy's a pussy. Why did he tap?
Why'd he
This and
go
that?"
down after
then-
that punch to the face?
So yeah, so this photographer, he would actually like take headshots of the fighters
Pre-fight
No,
and
yeah,
after?
pre-fight and after the fight. And oh my god, it is like. Have you ever wondered why boxers wear sunglasses for like 2 weeks after? Because their face is deformed.
you know
Like,
what
it
movie?
is
You know what
deformed.
movie addressed that was Southpaw.
Yes.
How he
Oh,
was
really?
still like he was like peeing
Yeah.
blood for like weeks
Yeah,
after,
dude.
and he was all bruised up in the stomach and all.
How
I think Creed
Creed too,
also
yeah.
brought it up too that he was urinating
he was beat
blood,
up,
and they're
like-
like, "Yo, like you need to get your kidney checked," and it was like lacerated kidney or something. He was like
Yeah.
just peeing blood out there. It was,
And
ooh.
in roller derby, we don't have the same protection as we would in football, like with a face mask and shoulder pads. There's no shoulder pads.
But we,
There's-
we talked about this like there's a beauty element to it, especially in the female. So they don't want you
Only in
covered
the female.
up. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a league of their own. Like remember in the movie,
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
they
yeah.
wore
The
skirts.
They
and
wore
all.
skirts.
Right.
Like they
I
kind of
mean-
want they want your face. You,
A
but
lot
you
of the
guys
girls
wanna
wear
be out there.
tights and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't cover up. It's
Except
just-
for Mar-
It's
individual.
Your ego
It's
when
an
you're
individual
doing
thing.
it,
Yeah.
you know, like you're a badass athlete. You're an athlete, but you also like this is my time to
To shine. Yeah,
Yeah.
to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like we were talking about, earlier, I think being in Derby helped me even outside of life, like just be more confident, more self-aware,
Yeah.
like
Ultimately,
I can
that's
do
what
this.
it's
Yeah.
about.
Like I can do this. Like I did that. I can do this.
Where do you guys see the future of the sport? Like, do you see it growing, especially like post-pandemic? What would you like out of the sport as far as bringing more people into it, getting the community involved? And I guess the third part of this question, what do you guys do for the community? I understand you guys are always out there, but is there any events that you guys hold or contribute to the community? I mean, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm literally asking.
Well, I know as far as like the pandemic part going, I can answer this and be like, because I'm on TikTok all the time. People like have bought skates off the shelves during the pandemic because they're trying to find something new to do.
Outdoors.
Yeah.
They're trying to find something to challenge themselves. They're trying to find something to like be able to say, "Hey, I started this hobby. Can somebody help me? Can somebody, hey, let's get together." And so they're trying to find that human connection through roller skates throughout the pandemic. So now that we're kind of opening up a little bit more, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of people that are like, "Hey, well, I learned to skate during the pandemic. I wonder if I could try roller derby out." So I definitely see roller derby
The growth
taking
of
a
it.
big boom. I don't think a whole lot of more leagues are going to start up because it is hard to get leagues to start up, from scratch. So I don't think leagues are going to start up and grow the amount of leagues per se. But I think a lot of local leagues, whether it's us or it's in a different state, a lot of their local leagues, I think are probably going to definitely grow tenfold from all
How
these
do you
people.
reach out to those people though? Because there's a lot of people that are very timid, and like again, I would see your guys' videos and I was like, hey, that looks like a lot of fun, but there's a lot of the time like people don't want to take that risk in fear of they're gonna get shut down. Like, no, we're good. We already have our team. How do you reach out to those?
Well, going back to the trail skating, when we began practice, there's actually, I think, 3 or 4 girls from the trail skate that just learned that started Derby. So
They learn because of your videos?
not because of the video, because they just joined. They
Well,
joined along with us.
Kind of going back
They
to
got
what they said
comfortable.
at the beginning, they never push anyone away. They kind of embrace them, and you guys are almost like mentors, like
We try to
opposed
be-
to
we try to be,
hazing.
yeah.
When Abel asked about
Right,
hazing, you're like,
right,
no, we don't
yeah.
haze anyone. We want to bring
I
people
think
in.
we definitely try to. Sorry, I mean you could go, but
Oh, no,
we
no,
try
no.
to embrace anybody that comes along, wherever they're at. If they're willing to learn, we're willing to teach. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty much everybody in the league.
And it doesn't matter your ability.
No,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Grow.
start. Yeah, wherever you're at, we'll start from there and we'll move forward.
Well, you guys have like this boot camp, right? That kind of like
Right.
Yeah.
teaches you all the basics
The
and
fresh
everything.
meat.
Yeah, the fresh meat.
Or tumbleweeds.
Tumbleweeds. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Tumbleweeds.
That's what we've named our little the newbies, just because
okay.
just
Yeah.
Because
We're-
fresh meat just sounded.
And
it's
She's
too
still going.
aggressive.
Fresh meat would be too cool for this podcast, right?
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like this. Like she was saying, a lot of people are buying skates. Like, I've been convincing for like years. Like, you need to join roller derby, and then they're like, no, it's not for me. And then all this shit happened, and like they were all buying skates and like roller skating. Like, well, bitch, now you got fucking. Excuse me. Now you have to go.
I like how every time she curses, she's like, "Oh my god, I don't know if I can say that, but fuck you, shit.
She does the little.
I can't believe I cussed. That's the first time, guys."
I never cuss.
It's like, I'm fucking sorry.
My bad. But it is great because there's even because I am not very into like social media or anything, but I started like skating at the skate park more, and I met like 11-year-olds that are like doing like these crazy things.
Again, stranger danger over there.
No, but like they're skating like way more hardcore than like us, like as 30-year-olds or as adults, and it's so exciting to see like if we could start up again and have a junior league, like we could bring
Yeah,
in
that'd
like
be great.
these young
It-
skaters in.
It reintroduced something new to a lot of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Alex, I want to go because, like I said, we follow you on social media, and I see you always posting stuff from like the 90s of skateboarding and all. And I used to be like into skateboarding and rollerblading and all that stuff. And I was like, man.
That's where I got my start, you know?
Yeah, and then it kind of like fizzled out as quickly as it came. It
Right.
fizzled out. Or here in El Paso at least. And now that people are getting introduced into like blading and skates and skateboarding, do you see that coming back? I know I'm kind of like straying away from this, but
You know what? It's gone off the mainstream, but there's still that few select that continue to do it.
because there
you
used
know?
to be skate shops and all,
There's
and now
a
the
few
skate shops are now smoke shops. Like, let's be honest, they're not skate shops anymore. There's not. Remember, there used to like be blade and skate
Still
and
going strong.
Crooks is we have
Yeah.
we
There-
have one or two skate shops here, but most of the stuff we do order online.
So where could I get a pair of skates? The what do you call them? Quads.
Quads.
Okay. Where could
like
I
they were
get-
saying about the pandemic, they literally did fly off the shelf. I was getting messages all the time. Where can I find them? I can't find any in
I'm
town.
not sending you a message. I'm,
like-
asking you.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
He's telling you make your own, Peter.
You have to order them online. You really do. It's
You got to make them.
zombie skates.
Zombie
Waited
skates.
Almost like 7 months for a pair of outdoor skates. Like,
Really?
They're
Everything
gone.
is
They're
on
back
back order.
ordered by like a year or so.
I think I'm gonna buy blades. They're expensive though. Like blades are
I think
expensive.
any
I
type
used
of
to have
skating
Royces.
hobby is going to
The roller
be
derby
expensive.
skates are expensive.
Are they
Roller
really?
derby- Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Mine
just got a pair of
costs-
like $700 skates.
Yeah, mine costs $800.
Like they're the Cadillac of
Oh.
years. Oh, right down.
Yeah, but I don't want to get the Cadillac and not stand on them. So
Peter,
I'm just
I want to
saying
get
that it could be
the.
pricey.
Peter wants the Pinto.
I want
version.
the. Yeah,
if you
the
do get the-
Focus
if you get
version,
the-
and I'm gonna be.
if you get the Ford Fiesta version,
The Ford-
it's gonna tear on you and you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter.
You have to think about our
You want to buy
height and
something
weight
at
and
a
everything.
little over 200.
Right.
You want that mid
You want the Corolla version.
Yeah.
Reliable.
And anything under
Toyota.
100 is not trustable. to
Really?
us.
Oh,
Good.
wow.
Rydell, Antec.
Get it on Amazon, unless you want to go to like Big Five.
Yeah. No.
They even
Yeah,
have
then you're
packages that
break it.
include like
Break up the first date.
I like how she's like, unless you want to go to Big Five, and then I heard like, oh no. Oh no.
We don't do the
You guys are roller snobs now. I know. I would never wear a pair.
it's for your safety.
It's for safety.
Okay.
So the big,
Yes.
the big 5 skates, especially the roller skates, the quad skates, you cannot adjust the toe stops and you cannot adjust the wheels very well, and they do not have adjustable trucks.
And
That's the problem.
Yeah, 9 times out of
So-
10 they're plastic.
Yeah, they're plastic. They're
little
gonna break
break.
on you, and then without having that adjustable toe stop, especially if you're trying to stop with that toe stop, you're just gonna,
Yeah.
you can't make it so it adjusts to your height or your weight or the weight, your sense of balance. And then not having the trucks, like, so let's say you guys skateboard, right? If you tighten that truck all the way, how hard is it gonna be for y'all to turn and y'all to do tricks? Like,
Yeah.
It's
You're
impossible.
gonna have to like keep lifting
when I
the
say a
board in order
skateboard,
to
I would
turn.
stand on the skateboard and just roll back. And
Yeah.
See, and now
That was
we're,
my skateboarding ability. Right there.
we're spoiled with what we use now. I mean, there's
yeah.
carbon fiber and moldable skates and just
Oh yeah, I take a heat gun, put it in the oven.
yeah.
Oh.
I have ceramic
oven.
bearings that need
Soften.
very
I'm
little
like the
maintenance.
Stacy Peralta here.
I know.
There you go.
We're getting the
That's
scoop here.
I used to have wooden wheels.
That were
Stone Age.
square.
I
That
still
was
do.
square.
before the circular.
I found a pair of like old school skates, the ones that strap onto your shoes.
To your shoes.
Yeah, those are
I need those.
badass.
Yeah, I
Those
need
are
those.
metal. You know what I mean? Like they're just metal. The
I'm
ones
just
that
gonna go with those
Fred
badass
Astaire wore.
Heelys you were talking about.
Yeah.
I just bought my daughter a Heelys.
Heelys?
But Devious got some like platform high
Oh,
heels.
yes.
Oh,
She
damn.
put some
Platform.
wheels on them.
With fishes on them and.
Yeah, dude, sexy.
Yeah.
So good.
She can't skate that much on them.
Oh.
They look real good.
They're really good for those photo ops, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Real pretty.
Do Heelys have
She
lights
looks
on them?
good, but she can't skate for shit.
Not on those.
Not on those
skates.
skates.
Not on those
On her
skates.
proper skates, yeah,
Yeah.
she can
Great
she can
skater.
do some damage.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Abel, I think we should volunteer for the broadcasting.
Yeah, I mean we can.
First game. When's your first game?
Did we find out?
I think it's up to
I'm gonna go with
the
a forward
CDC
mid-fall.
changes that actually just happened this week, so we don't have an update. But somewhere in the early fall.
We don't even know the rules and stuff, and Peter and I would be like the commentators from Dodgeball, like
Yes.
fucking A, Cotton.
Back to you, Cotton.
Let's see how it plays out for them.
Like-
Bold strategy.
Pepper just got 2 penalties. See how this strategy goes.
Whatever that means.
Oh man.
Any one of like our last game, we had like this group of men who like
Oh,
were so rowdy.
the
They
German
stole
Air
our
Force.
signs.
Yeah.
They had peanut butter everywhere.
Yes.
Oh man.
They
They
were
were nuts.
Yeah, they were
And everyone
nuts.
loved it.
Yeah,
Really?
actually, his girlfriend hit me right almost into them. Like, it was the craziest thing. I was all like, oh, I'm about
Oh,
to
wow.
hit some.
And they were like, yeah. Like, they
So-
know all about it.
Does your
Yeah.
girlfriend participate in this as well?
Oh.
Oh, God, she does.
She's also my
Oh.
derby wife.
She's the.
She's
Oh, that's right.
All right, wait, what?
She's a coach. She's on the committee, on the coaching
She's a
committee, and on the
beast.
board of directors. And she's a
Damn.
pretty
She's a beautiful.
athletic.
And hooligan.
I don't want to talk about it because she put me on my ass yesterday. But there was no cameras there, so it doesn't count.
Why didn't you give her a red card? 2 minutes.
Right?
He's
No,
like,
because she was running the practice.
he's like still sour. He's like, that's
Yeah.
why.
I'm
that's
not
why I
bitter,
didn't-
though.
I
That
didn't.
when you
He's
asked
like,
them,
I didn't invite her because
No, she had prior engagements. So
Just
she
because
couldn't be
it's a
here.
big hit doesn't mean it's an illegal hit.
Exactly.
Remember that.
Mm.
Whose team are you guys on? Just kidding. No. She's
She's our coach.
definitely an athlete to be reckoned
Yeah,
with.
she
And
is.
she's a
Beautiful
good. She
beast.
brings a
Love
lot
it.
of great skills to our league. She comes from another league from South Texas, and she's gonna change the culture here. Hopefully,
Only one season with us, like partially.
one partial season and then the
all this
pandemic.
shit happened,
Yeah.
but we were
Yeah.
so excited to have
Yeah,
her
we
come
were-
to
That's
our
cool.
team.
She really like.
She's
made a
gonna be that
difference.
drive. Like, she's super competitive. She's super
And a
strong.
sweetheart. And
So,
awkward, which
Yeah.
is great.
but
And she could
she just
squat me, so she can do wonders. She's great.
she could sc-
Yeah. Oh yeah, she can.
Yeah.
You think I'm kidding?
That's not even a joke.
I
No,
know.
she's at 340, 350.
You hit her sometimes and you're like, she's like, doesn't even move like an inch, and you're like, how am I gonna get through this?
Yeah.
She's a little petite girl, right?
Yeah, she's 5'2", but she hits like she's 6'4", like no doubt.
It feels like 6'4"
When we
hit
first
you.
met her and we were like, oh dude, like show us your muscles, and she's like doing all this stuff, and she's like, we asked her about like, fighting, and she's like, I've only fought men in my whole life.
Oh,
And we were like,
MMA fighter.
I was like, I need you to be my wife. I love you.
I call dibs on her.
hey, you know what I like about them? They're like us. They're like, show us your muscles, like that. So one of the days we had like 3 guys in the studio that were like MMA fighters, and they were like impressed with Peter's legs because my brother has like the big. Oh,
Big
there
calf.
you go.
Arnold Caffeinator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my pants.
Yeah, for sure, you could wear the skates.
Yeah.
But
But
my skates.
no, but like
Peter Caffeinator over here.
they were like
I think
so.
he has a derby name
I know,
now.
that's your derby name.
What the
The
caffeinator?
caffeinator.
Is it? What's a caffeinator? Isn't that
Cap.
like?
Hey, but then
That's
I'm
like
like,
a coffee
then I
drink.
cover my biceps because they're small.
You can't have it all.
I know. Which one do you want?
Yeah. But it,
Upper or lower?
yeah. Oh, you being like, you guys are 4 girls right here. What do you prefer in a guy? Upper body strength or lower body strength?
If he's gonna be on my team, he better have that lower body strength. I'm just saying.
Peter, there you go.
I made the
Look at that.
team.
You made the
Alright.
team.
Yeah, team wise,
I was like,
I'm all
what are we
team-
talking
I know, right?
about?
I know, yeah.
Whoa.
I was like, 'cause I play for the other team, so I was like, for my team, I'm gonna say, yeah, I'd say the lower body strength because upper body, man, guys, you hit them in the chest and they just.
Yeah. It's all about
Ma'am, I'm sitting
Top
right here.
heavy.
yeah, it's all about the legs.
Yeah, legs.
Yeah.
but-
I see this.
I personally like mentally strong because no, honestly, you could be the tiniest
Over
skater.
here reading a book.
No, seriously, it's half of the and it is a physical sport, but mentally you need to be
Strategy. Yeah.
you need to be
Like any
mentally
sport.
strong.
Like we're
'Cause
baseball
it's
players,
exhausting.
and it's a strategy game.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I always say I'm a C+ skater with an A- strategy point because I do have skills that are just going to be impossible for me. Again, I had neck surgery, not related to roller derby. I probably should have said that as a disclaimer earlier. It wasn't because of roller derby. It was a whole different issue. But because of it, yeah, it is why I have my name too. But because of it, I do have issues where I can't turn my leg a certain way, and that's just the way it's going to be. That's just,
Yeah.
I've accepted that. So even being a C plus skater, because of that, I have to know the strategy. I have to play smart. I have to
You adjust your
utilize
game
myself.
to
Yeah.
to your abilities.
It's like what's the best way I can help my team? Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to be able to skate up and, you know, get into the front of the pack really quick because I'm not agile because of all these issues. But I could hang back, and then if somebody knocks out my jammer on the inside line, I'm going to be waiting there for her to, you know, knock her on her ass, open a kind of whoop ass on her so that my jammer could get back on the track more quickly instead of having to go all the way back.
Yeah.
So I've done that several times where I'll wait for somebody I'm just going to camp out right here because I don't have the skill level to get up front, but I'll camp out right here. So yeah, definitely strategy has to be on point because you could be as physical as you want, but if you're throwing elbows because you're being physical, you're going to get fouled out and it hurts your team. It hurts all your shifts. So we work in shifts kind of like hockey does.
Yeah.
Does this team call it shifts? Okay. Some leagues don't have shifts. They call them other things sometimes depending on which league you're on, but they're shifts. So if you're going to foul out, you're going to ruin your whole shift, and now everybody's got to adjust in order to compensate for that. So definitely, like, just strength and just speed isn't going to get you anywhere. You have to be smart in this sport.
I think our coach, with Vix, she had a system where, like, it was like a hierarchy, I guess. You know, like, if this one went out, this one's going to goes in and whatever. So, like, we were, for, like, most part, prepared for that.
There is X's and O's.
Yeah, but it's very complicated.
Yeah, I think the good
Physical
part
game.
about our team is a lot of our players can do all positions. So if ever a case all our jammers are like so exhausted, she could always pick someone to fill in the gap, and it comes together. It's really cool.
And you have to think too, like, Anne,
Yeah.
amazing jammer, right? Like, we put her on there, we're gonna have a lot of points, but she may be more beneficial as a blocker because she's gonna knock the other jammer out, stopping the points. You know, like, so you have to think about
The other team.
how
Like who we're
that
playing.
team is gonna
Yeah.
play against.
Adjusting to your opponent.
Yeah.
Jammer
Adjust your
or
game.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's where a good coach comes in.
Yeah.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah, like in Colorado, when we went, there were this team of like just a bunch of Amazon girls.
Oh, that
And
was great.
we
for
were
us.
all so short, but like at first it took us, we're always what we call a second half team.
Yeah.
Like
Commanders.
yeah, so like
Like that.
so we end up like messing up so much in the beginning, and then like afterwards we find out, okay, this is who works best, or this is their best jammer, this is their best blocker, and then we kind of just adjust, and we kind of figure out, okay, so you know you've been doing really good blocking this person, you've been really doing good jamming against this person, so we've adjusted, and then also too, since we were so short, we were able to get so low and just like hit them out. Yeah, dip under them, or just like take them out by like their
Hitting their
like
their
thighs.
ankles.
Yeah, it was great. It was so amazing. And I was like, yes, being short rules right now.
Oh yeah.
So you could low cut them?
No.
No,
So
Peter.
there's-
Peter.
So there's
Come on, man.
legal parts to hit
There's
in the
engagement
body.
zone.
From,
Right,
yeah.
right
From
away,
your
Alex
knee
was like,
to,
no,
like,
no,
your
no.
chest.
Yeah.
from,
but
like,
I
your
mean,
knee to your
if
chest.
if this girl
Cross
is like
strap to
6, I'm
cross
5
strap.
foot. So if this
Yeah.
girl's like 6 foot and I'm able to get low enough to hit her here, like there's nothing that she's gonna be able to do about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or
sometimes
even
like,
just literally
miss 'em
just
to go
just
under.
literally
We call it-
squat as
what is it,
low.
bean dip?
The bean dip. Yeah. You just go.
Whoa,
under
whoa,
there.
Their
whoa.
low
What is-
squat is
what is
like
bean
us
dip?
standing
Yeah.
up right
Their low
underneath
squat is
them.
like 5'8", 5'7", and their low squat is like
So-
4'2".
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you literally just
just go
squat
right under
under
them.
them. You just they're gonna try to hit you and you just go under them.
Oh.
And you're like, yay.
It's called the bean dip.
Hey,
Bean
whatever
dip.
works, you gotta
Yeah.
adjust. Bean dip, I like that.
Yeah, dude, that is.
You taking note table?
I'm getting terminology for
Yeah,
when
you
we
better
call a
take
game.
notes.
It's like over here.
has its whole
It does. It has a whole lingo. It's
Each
like,
league has
Urban
their own.
Dictionary. Urban
To
Dictionary.
the sausage, and like other leagues are like, what's
To
a
the
sausage?
sausage.
Oh,
Scrambled
the
eggs,
sausage.
scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs.
Oh, I thought she said cheddar sausage. I was
Or
like,
that.
what is that?
that sounds
That
good.
sounds, yeah, right.
There's been so many crazy like signs that we would try to like figure out as a team to like call off, and
Like-
one was like, what was this? Was this like to call off the jam?
It was no, I think it was if we need something about the jammer. We need cover for the jammer. It was like
yeah,
tap,
like we
like,
were like
you know what I
just
mean?
like
Like,
tapping like
Can't make stuff up,
Yeah.
guys.
Well, as our team, instead of yelling things out,
Yeah,
because
so that they
obviously
would
You have your
figure it out.
signals.
Yeah,
Some
we
reps are gonna
wanted
be like
codes.
killing
Pineapple,
the
pineapple, pineapple.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
Exactly.
also that reminds me of like calling the
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
thing off, like
Yeah.
because we call off by doing this, like the jammer.
Yeah.
But you could get in trouble if you like
right.
do that movement. You
Oh,
can't see
really?
on the camera, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, it's kind of like
The suck it.
suck it.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
And like Speeding Beauty, she just
Oh,
on the
she,
side,
like, taps
and,
it.
and I'm like, are you calling it off or
So,
are you
yeah.
scratching your hip? You
Yeah.
know, so
That's the
you gotta
thing.
be
Yeah.
very, you know.
Yeah. So that's the thing when lead jammer like that, like we were saying, when there's a jammer that gets through the pack initially, the first jammer to get through that pack the first time, they're called the lead jammer. They have the ability to be able to call off the jam.
Yeah,
Calling
they
off the
control it.
jam by having your hands hit your hips, like that's the motion, kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there's some jammers that barely even like tap, like it's just like you can't like give it as a ref
Yeah.
who's trying to see through the pack and everybody. You're like, are you? I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
It has to be
Are-
very obvious.
Yeah.
Because
So-
if not, you don't see.
Are there like secret signals, and are there like sign stealing in this sport?
I'm sure there are. Honestly, there's no secrets in roller derby
No.
because you see it happening. It's gonna if it's
It's
a
in
good
real
play,
time.
it will it will travel. So there's
Like,
no secrets.
You
in
can
roller
see
derby.
like video of the previous bout from your opponent and kind of get their tendencies, kind of like we do, you know,
Yeah.
scout.
Mhm.
But for the most part, no, you can't really. You can record all you want. You're not gonna.
I think
You still have to
especially
play the
with-
game.
With us being here with so many travelers or like, people coming in and out because of Fort Bliss.
Yeah.
Like, we have so much like turnover of skaters.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
learn.
So
Different things.
has
All these
has
different
Fort
things.
Bliss been a benefit to the game or a disservice?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, when we get people like I don't know Mason.
I know.
Or even
But
Furcha.
she's like amazing, Furcha. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Players, blockers,
They
jammers.
come in and then
And
you
then
know,
you're like,
military
"Wait, where
says
you going?"
yeah.
Yeah,
They
as
have
soon
to
as
go.
they come in,
Yeah.
They
they're
have
told
gotta
to
go.
leave, yeah.
Yeah.
So it sucks. So it does suck.
But they do bring great, you know, skills and different style and ways of playing. So people, everybody learns a little bit from them. So it's kind
So
of
like for
it's a
the
nice thing.
I don't want to use the term anchor, but I will, I guess. The anchor people that are here, like you guys are consistent here. You pick up different ways of play then. So
Yeah.
All right, so we kind of talked about this a little bit, but your girls' style is like very unique, and I noticed that a lot of you have tattoos, and there's a certain stigma to roller derby. Do you embrace that, or you kind of want to like remove yourselves from it?
Well,
It kind of depends on the scenario. I think a lot of what tattoos represent are different things for a lot of different people, and a lot of the time, people with tattoos that are visible are like, you know what, I'm my own person. I'm gonna embrace exactly who I am, and that's great. I personally have tattoos that you cannot see, so I do have the tattoos, but I wear the long leggings so you can't see them. Even right now, I'm wearing jeans, you can't see my tattoos. I'm wearing a shirt, you can't see my tattoos. So my tattoos are hidden because of my career choice. I am a nurse, and it is a lot harder to get jobs because of tattoos sometimes. So for me, I kind of hide that part of myself, even in roller derby, because if my coworkers go to work, or, God forbid, my HR person representative goes to a job and they're like, oh wow, they're covered in tattoos. Now I'm going to judge them differently.
Yeah.
Like even with my hair is colored, but I wear scrub caps at work, so nobody could tell. Like nobody knows what my hair looks like at work.
yeah.
So for me personally, I like to hide that part of myself just because of that aspect. But I know for a lot of others, like separating themselves from what their family expects of them, derby is definitely the place to do that. And, a lot of, especially like very, very strict, like let's say Catholic culture. I grew up Catholic. Tattoos were a sin. Piercing your ears are a sin. That's sacrilege. And, taking yourself away from that part of your family and just like being your own person makes your own choices. Derby might be the place to actually like show off those tattoos and be proud of who you are, and have tattoos that represent yourself.
Yeah, I bring up the stigma because some people are like, you get those people that are like, well, I am who I am, and if they don't like it, they don't have to. But then, I mean, like, you're a nurse, you said it, like, you're very professional. You didn't get there because you were just some slob, you know, like, and I'm not labeling
Yeah.
roller derby as slobs, but again, the stigma that is attached to certain sports and certain
Characteristics.
yeah,
just-
you know, and like it's proof right here that, you know, you can never judge a book by its cover.
No, I think
Yeah.
we're all very successful in what we do.
What we do,
Very
yeah.
responsible adults, mothers.
Yeah. Moms, yeah.
And,
It's like, yeah, we're all moms.
you just- Derby, for me, you know, like people see me and they're like, oh yeah, you're a derby girl, obviously. But I was like, I had tattoos before I joined derby. You know?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't have tattoos before I
Oh,
joined
that's
Derby.
true.
That's how my sister was too,
I
actually.
just got them.
Yeah.
I just have two.
Maybe it does change some people.
Yeah.
But, you know, like,
You got influenced.
I know. I try to be. For me, I like to embrace it just because I want to have people realize that just because I look a certain way doesn't mean I'm gonna act a certain way.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I do have tattoos. I have colored hair, but I'm still gonna be professional in I'm in real estate, so I'm still gonna do the best for you as I can. But you know, just because I have colored hair doesn't mean I don't know how to help you find a house. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that has literally
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. Like
Has someone ever wanted to buy a house and then they're like, no, you know what, we're gonna pass on this one, and then you check them.
I know,
You're like,
right?
boom.
Not that I'm aware of.
let me get my helmet.
I've actually had people say, I don't want you doing CPR on me.
Really?
I have. Yep.
Oh,
I have.
wow.
Which
Why
is
is
why I
that?
hide my hair now, because I used to have long,
Were they at
long
one of
purple
your
hair.
games and then they knew who you were?
No, it was just a random patient, and
Oh, wow.
I have one tattoo that is visible, and it's actually my medical tattoo.
You know,
My medi-
I've been
no,
looking
it's my
for.
medical tattoo for like if I pass out and nobody's near me, they know what to do. So
Wow.
I have it tattooed on me, and then one of them saw it, they're like, "Oh, you're one of those." I was like, "Excuse me, like I don't know what you're getting at." Like, "Oh well, you have tattoos. I don't, you know,
He's like,
can I get a different
What-
nurse?
what
'Cause
if-
I don't want you doing CPR on me." I was
What
like,
if the tattoo was the instructions of CPR?
I know.
right? Yeah,
Do you still want it?
yeah. They're like,
You're
"Oh
on
well,
your own."
yeah, no, I
That's unfortunate.
you know."
that's weird.
Yeah, and they
It's like-
there are some people that are still, you know, set up
Yeah.
that way. So that's why I'm like, I'm not even gonna set myself up
over
to
the
be in
years it
that
has
conversation anymore. You know, I'm just gonna hide everything at this point. I don't really care. Like, it's not gonna, you know, change the way I do CPR. I'm actually
Yeah.
like advanced cardiac life support certified, and I'm also pediatric advanced life support certified. And it's not gonna change the way I do CPR. It's not gonna change the way, you know, I follow our algorithms for when codes happen. Because at that point, it doesn't matter how I look. It matters how proficient I am at my job and how well I listen to my teammates doing that job, because it is a teamwork issue. But yeah, some people will still look at me and be like, "Ugh, you have purple hair." Like one time I went without my scrub cap, and my boss is like, "How long has your hair been purple? Have you done that before?" I was like, "No, it's been like this forever. I just forgot my scrub cap." They're like, "Oh," and they kind of give you that look like, that's the person that I hired. Like, you know, so like, yeah, there's definitely still like a rift between the stigma being, you know, acceptable in healthcare, and there's a rift between the stigma being like, "Oh well, you have colored hair and tattoos, okay, you play roller derby then." You know, I like kind of like she said earlier, and she was like, "Yeah, I had these tattoos and purple hair beforehand." So I just happened to join roller derby, where people don't care what you do to your body as long as you're being healthy, and you know, we support each other in what we decide to do with ourselves.
Sweet. All right. So before we wrap up, what is it that you guys? How do you want to promote it? How do you guys want to get the word out?
Where could people find
Yeah.
you, first of all? Social media handles.
We're on Facebook. I was like, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. El Paso Roller Derby. You can look us up, and hopefully soon, as long as everything is, you know, going as it's been going, we should be playing in fall at some point. It'll be online that you'll be able to see the games. But if
Until next year, right? Is that
probably
the next time?
until next year that we'll actually have games that people can come to. And then if people want to join, they can contact us there as well on Instagram, Facebook, and El Paso Roller Derby. We are going to start with new people that have just started skating. We're going to start training them again next week. We'll start with the newer people and hopefully just blossom from there.
Yeah. And if, I mean, roller derby is not really like a thing, just skating in general, you guys could just,
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
volunteer.
everyone could just
Yeah.
come, volunteer,
We
ref,
always need refs
skate.
and help.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, just
audio and
volunteers.
video.
What about water boys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the water boys.
Yeah. There's
And the wipers that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
The wipers.
That'd be great 'cause I mean,
I
Yeah,
have
butt
my wrist
wiper.
guards on.
the wrist
boat.
guard.
Yeah, I already have my wrist guards on.
Can't take them off.
Anybody need to shit now? Anybody? Yeah, we good.
Police gloves.
Wiper boy.
Towel boy.
You're gonna skate.
Yeah.
But
Oh
there's
yeah,
a-
with those calves, you
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, I
Those
know.
are towels. Those are
I'll lend you
towels.
my shorts. The shortest ones, right? Yes.
Of course, yeah.
I'll give them up.
Cheeky Peter.
He doesn't have much of an ass, but his calves are terrific.
That's all that matters in roller derby.
Yeah.
We'll get him an ass.
We'll get it.
Oh, there you go.
I'll be able to squat you, Alex. Though.
Oh yeah. Some of the best asses I would
That
have.
doesn't leave this room.
All right, so I feel like this was a pretty good session that we had here.
Yeah, man.
What do you call it? A session that you guys do like in
Is it
roller
a match
derby?
or session?
Bout.
Bout.
Bout? Ooh, a bout.
And then
Sesh. Bout.
The whole
Sesh.
thing was about.
Bout.
But then we have jams.
There's
in
jams.
The
Ooh,
bout.
jams.
Yeah.
Bout is like a game.
Bout,
Yeah.
jams.
And then the jams are
sesh.
kind of like, think of football downs. Like
Yes.
first down, second, except there's no,
like a
like, they're
drive.
not numbered.
Right.
Up to 2 minutes.
How long
for
does
the
it?
best.
How long is a bout or like?
The whole event.
Yeah, the
Total
whole event.
gameplay is 1
No,
hour.
it's not 4
Dang.
You guys are two halves, right?
Two halves.
2 halves of 30 minutes.
How long was it?
An hour.
2 halves of 30 minutes.
Two halves of 30.
Damn.
Yeah.
so-
Jam in those 30 minutes is 2 minutes. Can be 2
Maximum.
minutes.
I think
Mm.
usually is like 30 seconds and then
You get tired doing that.
Hit it and quit it. Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yep.
See, that's another term. You gotta
Hit it
write
and
that.
quit it.
Hit it and quit
Awesome.
it. Oh
awesome.
yeah.
There's a lot. I'll send you guys
Yeah.
an index.
Yeah, we.
lingo card or
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are gonna have to print that out for us, and
Yeah.
then we'll have it like here in the studio.
There you go.
But anyways, thank you all for joining us. I really enjoyed this interview. I thought it was very informative, but also fun. And it's always cool to have girls come in studio and they like to have a little fun.
Yes.
So it was awesome.
It was a Saturday. We're trying to.
Yeah,
keep
it was
light.
Saturday. Usually we record on Sundays, and it's kind of hard to get those adult beverages in studio.
We have the priests come in and we do, we do our
Yeah.
mass and
Actually,
I
Anthony.
still would have been here.
Actually, Anthony does Sunday mass in that little shed across. Yeah. They call him Father
you
Anthony.
could go light a candle. Right?
Father Anthony. He's a saint. I don't know if you've heard of him.
As are these ladies.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. But anyways, thank you all for joining us. We got to do this again when you
When the
guys
season
when the
starts, yeah.
season starts
Or
and
when your beer
everything.
comes out.
Yes.
oh, look at she didn't
Celebration.
forget. She's like when the beer comes out. All
She
right.
heard nothing else except.
She's
Where's the
like,
beer?
she's like,
Where's the beer?
roller derby, roller derby. Who cares about roller
That's
derby?
how we ever talk about
Where are we going afterwards?
Yeah.
The after party.
But really quick.
Where's the after party?
Ooh. Really quick, what is the conversation like after a match, an event, a sesh?
About.
Oh, in the locker room?
Ooh, a locker room.
Very stinky.
Stinky.
Everyone on changing, your coach or whoever is just like, you're badass, this and that. And we.
And then Alex is there, and it's like, what are you doing here? You're the ref, bro.
We're not a team
No,
to like
it's like
dwell like on our
No.
mistakes. Like we're like, all right, let's go party. Like if we can't
Yeah.
win the game, we can win the after party.
If we
Yeah.
lose, we gotta drown our sorrows. If we win, we gotta go
Celebrate.
celebrate.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
I like
attitude.
it. I like it.
Love the attitude. All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for joining us. El Paso Roller Derby is where we can all catch you all. Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
We'll see you on the track, right, guys?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That's gonna be a separate video.
has
We're
their
gonna do
plates?
that.
I'm already strapping up my. Here we go.
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be back. All right, so we're back from our break and we just finished up our interview with the El Paso Roller Derby girls. And I have to say that was one of the funner interviews that we did here in the TMO studios. It was just great to hear a new sport that we're not too familiar with, Anthony, because we're sports guys, we're competitors, but it was nice to have these girls in studio.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, didn't know much about roller derby before, and I think I know a little bit now, some of the terminology and stuff, and it's pretty fascinating, man. I think I might want to check it out.
Two things stood out to me: terminology, which you brought up just right now,
Pretty
like
cool.
just the different words that they have. A lot of them are hilarious.
Yeah.
But the family aspect of roller derby is what
Definitely.
really caught like my attention. Just like these women, they come together, they use roller derby as a therapy session. It's an outlet where they can, get the exercise that they need, but also just come together as a family. Just it's an opportunity for them to unwind and just, be human again. You know what I'm saying? Like
Therapy.
there's a certain image that we carry as human beings, like where we have to be perceived in a positive light. We have to be presentable, whereas in roller derby, not that they're not presentable, but it's their time to let loose and just enjoy themselves and have fun, and and they're all on the same board, and these are successful women that are coming together to participate in roller derby. You heard it. One of our guests, she's a nurse. Another of our guests was an educator. These are successful women that are definitely making an impact, a positive impact in our community. And, it's their therapy, it's their outlet. And I don't know. I just really enjoyed this one. And I'm super grateful that I had the opportunity to reach out to Alex Rodriguez so he can bring in these women and just give us a little more insight in their sport.
Yeah, definitely.
But with all that being said, it was a great show. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But guys, you definitely want to go ahead and check out all of our social media outlets. You can catch us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, go and check out our YouTube channel. If you want to see who these women were and how cool they are, go ahead and look at the videos that we have up on YouTube. This episode's it's going to be awesome. And just the way they look, their hair, their tattoos. These are
They
cool.
came ready to kick ass.
Yeah. I think the word that Alex used was dolled up. And I was like, I didn't know what to expect when he said dolled up. And then, no, these women, they came with their uniforms, and they look like Anthony said, they look like they wanted to come and kick ass. They were ready to go.
I wasn't going to admit this earlier when you volunteered us to go against them, but I was like, man, I'm not trying to get my ass beat today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, see, and that was one of the things that I wanted to kind of do, like a little race around the block, kind of like how we used to do it back in in our heyday.
Back in our days?
Yeah, like in our heyday, like going down Pacific, Panama, Atlantic, like just, maybe I was going to give a shoulder to one of the girls, like, yo. But then the more I heard them talking and how competitive they are and how strong they are, and their pain tolerance, it seems like,
dude, I could barely stand on skates. They would murder me.
Yeah.
They would murder me. Like, literally, I would be this, and then I'd get like a elbow to the face or something.
Well, I'll never admit it, Anthony. I could take them.
Oh.
But deep down inside, I was like, ugh. I was getting nervous, but I still feel like I could take
I'd
them.
like to see that.
I would like to race them. I feel like, dude.
Do you know how to roller skate?
I know how to rollerblade really well. Like I was
No,
saying.
roller skate's a whole different.
Well, yeah. See, like I need roller skates to see what it's all about. But here's one thing I didn't know: how expensive those roller skates are.
True. Everything's expensive though. Like I think when you get into I don't know, anytime you get into an expert or a professional in any kind of thing, it gets expensive, man. And that's how you know that they're professionals. They take this sport serious. They have real gear, it's
Well, just the traveling that they do.
They're not with a microphone, lavalier mic, and a hanger,
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But,
I'm just saying, like them, there's levels to this,
Yeah. No, and they're definitely at the higher tier, level, and the traveling teams that they have, and you know the money that they spend to go to these tournaments. And I mean, it's cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to actually covering their sport. They gave us an open invite whenever we want to head down over there, take some photos, do some commentary, just hang out and just witness the spectacle that it is, you know.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, I wanted to thank El Paso Roller Derby once more, just for coming in and just hanging out with us. Yeah, guys, that's basically the show.
Great show.
Yeah, it was a great show. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. This was The Middle's Open.